6-2, Houston 3-7. The Tigers now get ready to face the 28-year-old native of Tulsa, Oklahoma, Dallas Keuchel.
Well, so far he's 1-1, and like Dan said, command has been the problem. 12 2/3 so far, 9 hits, 10 walks. That will change. 13 strikeouts against the Tigers last year. One game it was brilliant. 7 innings, 6 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, and 8 strikeout. Last time out, he took the loss against the Brewers. That's when he walked 6 in that ball game in 5 2/3. It's just not his style of pitching. So, what I was trying to say is, Dan, if you could lay off the borderline pitches, because what he does, he pitches to the corners, and with some sort of late movement, the ball will go down and away, the ball will come in. So if you can be patient against him, you're going to have a chance anyway. The four-seam fastball, maybe 7%, but it's all about the sinker, and that'll top out 88, maybe 89 at 52%, and then the slider, the cutter, and the change. But again, if he's right, the Artie pitching is very, very strong.
Ian Kinsler swinging a line drive over a leaping Carlos Correa at short. Ian Kinsler saw a pitch he liked and drilled it into left field to start the game.
I'll tell you, now he's 8 for 22 against this lefty with 1 home run. How about that?
Not a bad idea to attack early if you see a pitch you like. It is interesting. There are some pitchers who are very vulnerable early in the count. He's not one of them. Guys swing early in the count, but they don't do a whole lot against Dallas Keuchel.
Well, he'll take a little off, put a little on. But
it's really something, isn't it, Jim?
Everything has some sort of move. That's why I say if you can be patient enough, I think that's what the Brewers did. They were patient against him. It'll give you a chance.
Justin Upton at the plate, and he takes a strike on the inside corner. More cutters this year, Jim. Interesting, because he has pitched away a lot with that sinker and the changeup to right-handed batters the last 2 years.
It's about 15% with the cutter, but it's everything he throws has some sort of movement.
Works extreme third base side of the rubber. He stops the running game. Slide step to the plate. And there's another cutter off the plate inside, and it's now 1 ball, 1 strike on Upton. Cabrera waiting on deck. Tigers 4-0 on the road so far this year, all in National League ballparks without the DH. They've averaged 7 runs a game.
Shows you how good this offense can be.
It's going to be fun to see the lineup now back to full health for, almost a month before they play in a National League city again. There's a pitch high and away, not close. Apparently in Milwaukee, obviously the roof was closed. It was chilly, though, and Keuchel just didn't get a feel, and there's really something to that. If it's a little cold, Jim, and I mean you don't get that feel, and the ball feels a little bit slick, especially for a guy who relies on the sinker and changeup. Mike Pelfrey, I don't think there's any question, was affected by the cold in Detroit. Here's the 2-1. There's a breaking ball down.
See you see that breaking
That's good
ball?
Discipline there, Jim.
Just down a little bit. That's what I say. Be patient, patient, patient. I know that's what the Brewers did. I talked to some folks that were at that game. If they had a lot of patience, took a lot of pitches that were just off the strike zone some way.
Keuchel gets a ton of ground balls and a lot of double plays turned behind him. The pitch, strike on the inside corner. 88-mile-an-hour fastball. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Upton. Jim, he stops the running game, but would you be more inclined to put a man in motion because of all the ground balls he gets?
I would think so, but it's got to be hit and run.
Right.
Yeah, you mean with men on?
Yep.
Yeah.
Just to try to stay out of the double play. Upton waiting on a 3-2. Castro setting up off the plate inside. The pitch is, strike off the plate inside.
That's right. Well, but the other thing, in my opinion, and not taking away from anything he's done, he normally will get those borderline pitches because of his great command.
Jimmy, look where that pitch is. I mean,
that's
my goodness.
That's 1 ball inside out of the strike zone.
We just saw it on our Fox Tracks monitor. You could tell where Castro was set up, it was off the plate inside. On our Fox Tracks monitor, it's just easily a ball width or 2 off the plate inside. That brings up Miguel Cabrera. Man on, man out. Keuchel will flip over to first. Dallas Keuchel got more balls called strikes out of the strike zone than any other pitcher last year. And it was mostly at the bottom of the strike zone, so credit to his catcher, Jason Castro, a lot of the time for getting all those extra strikes.
Yeah, he would help. That's right.
He has not been getting those same calls through his first 2 starts this year. There's a strike on the inside corner.
Well, the art of pitching, the way he can move pitches around, when he does throw a fastball at 88 to the hitter, most of the time it looks like it's maybe 94, 95.
Valbuena at third, Carlos Correa at short. Altuve, the Gold Glove winner, at second. Tyler White at first. It's a good defensive team. Miguel takes pitch in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Miguel 241 through 29 at bats, 7 walks so far. We'll say that he's been, well, there have been some hard hit balls turned into outs by opposing defenders. Some very good plays made on him, but you didn't feel like he was seeing the ball especially well yesterday.
I didn't think he did in Pittsburgh, no.
Yeah. Day game yesterday. Kinsler edges off at first. We're just underway and scoreless. There's a swing and a foul off of the catcher Castro. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Victor Martinez is waiting on deck. First pitch today brought to you by Sunoco. Save 5 cents in every gallon instantly with your Sunoco Rewards credit card. Our first inning today brought to you by U.S. Park on Middlebelt Road. You've booked your flight. Reserve your spot. Save at us-park.com. Outfield plays Miguel to go the opposite way, so Rasmussen left shaded to left center, and the center fielder Gomez shades to right center. Slide step to the plate, swing the line drive over second base into right center. That's where Gomez is, and Kinsler's heading to third. The throw from the outfield got him by 10 feet. Wow. That was a surprise that Ian went to third. Gomez was shallow and toward right center, and that was easy for him.
That's a base running mistake. There's no question about it. Play was in front of him. He saw where the ball was. He saw where Gomez was, and everybody knows he has a terrific arm, and he was out, like you said, Dan, by 10 feet. 1 hop throw, and you wait for him. Yeah, that's a mistake there.
That's a surprise. That's a good base runner there. I know we got picked off a few times last year, but he's very good first to third. And he knows when to go first to third. And
except tonight.
That was not one of those times. That's as far as you will see a base runner thrown out.
Well,
at any base.
You know me, I like to put the pressure on the other defense, but that wasn't any pressure on the defense.
That was
a gift for the defense.
Yes, exactly. Victor Martinez lines this one into center field. It's going to hang up for Gomez. Sharp line drive. 3 good swings in the first, and the Tigers have nothing to show for it. Victor Martinez lines out to win the top of the first.
Well, you're right. They had good swings is right.
We go to the bottom of the first inning. No score in Houston. This is the home of Detroit Tigers baseball. No score. Bottom of the first. Tigers had good swings against Dallas Keuchel. Nothing to show for it. We go to the bottom of the first scoreless. Astros get ready to face the 32-year-old native of Dayton, Ohio, Mike Pelfrey.
Making his second start. Last time out, he took the loss. A very cold day for him against the Yankees. 6 runs, 8 hits, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, and 3 2/3. Against the Astros, 3-4, 4.96 ERA. Here at this ballpark, 0-2 with a 9.90 ERA.
9.90.
9.90.
First pitch to Altuve, ground ball hit hard to short. Scooped up by Iglesias. Fires over to first. He didn't mess around there. Altuve going down that baseline, and Iglesias let it fly. 1 up, 1 down on 1 pitch.
Well, the one thing he will do, he induced 29 ground ball double plays last year, so there's a perfect example. Also, he's allowed just last year 11 home runs, 164 2/3 innings. That's strong, so there's some pluses for this big right-hander, but it's all about the sinker. He'll throw that 74% of the time. He'll get it up to 92, 93. The slider is his next best pitch. He'll get that up to 82, 83, then an occasional split and a change.
There's a sinker off the plate inside. Jim, that last game, 31 degrees at game time. That sinker just never really sank for him.
No, it did the other way, unfortunately. But, you give him a pass because the weather was so bad, and both teams had to play in the weather, but that's just the way it is.
There's a swing and a ground ball up the middle into center field, a base hit. Fastball low and away, and George Springer hits a hard ground ball into center field. Pelfrey will give up hits. There is no question about that. That's why we both believe if that strikeout rate can just climb a little bit. It was at 4.5 last year. It's very hard to have any kind of consistent success at 4.5 strikeouts per 9. You get it up to 6 or more, and he absolutely has the arm, Jim, to do that.
Right, and
he's been at that level before. Then it helps him tremendously.
The only way he's going to do that, he's got to come up with a four-seamer. That his number one pitch is a sinker down in his zone. You need the four-seamer belt higher, a little above the belt. Then he will get some strikeouts.
It's a lot of ground balls, not as many as Keuchel, but very few get as many as Keuchel. There's a flip over to first base.
There was a heavy ball, from that type of sinker. He's 6'8".
6'8".
Yeah, he throws down at the hitter. That's another reason the sinker when he keeps it down, has that good down to it. But when he develops the four-seamer, he gets some strikeouts.
Brings up the budding superstar Carlos Correa, and he takes a strike on the outside corner. Correa didn't debut until June of last year.
How about that?
He is still shy of his 22nd birthday. He's 21 years old.
That is something.
And so he debuted at 20. He was the youngest position player in the major leagues. And he won Rookie of the Year, and he deserved it. Although Francisco Lindor also had one heck of a rookie year, and they debuted around the same time.
How about that? Young shortstops. And, of course, Boston has one, too.
Xander Bogaerts. It could be a heck of a class. Remember, it was A-Rod, Garciaparra, and Jeter. That was the trio.
That wasn't bad.
That was pretty darn good. Garciaparra at his peak was pretty amazing. There's a sinker down and out of the strike zone. 2-1 on Carlos Correa. He ended up hitting .279. His manager was just so impressed, A.J. Hinch, with this young man. This 21-year-old now, 20-year-old last year, just handled himself like a very mature veteran.
You have to look at his birth certificate to believe that he's just 21. You really do.
Right-handed batter against the righty. A little flip over to first. This is a team that likes to run, but right now all the steals are concentrated with Altuve and the guy at the plate, Carlos Correa.
Well, they just haven't gotten their act together yet. And I think it tells you with the crowd here tonight. I thought they would have maybe a sellout, but unless they're really late arriving, they're not going to do it.
They averaged 26,000 per game last year. There's a flip over to first. They're still trying to win back some fans. They certainly seem to. Postseason, it was rather raucous in this ballpark. It was great to see.
Well, they got an exciting ball club.
Interesting blend of veterans as well as the youngsters. Pelfrey delivers. Fastball just off the plate away. Jerry Davis, the crew chief, is our home plate umpire. Sam Holbrook at first. Rob Drake at second. Carlos Torres, today's third base umpire. Jim, that's a pretty good looking pitch right
Looked
there.
like a perfect pitch. That's the borderline pitches that you need to get against a good hitter, especially.
Pelfrey doesn't walk many. Walk rate of 2.5 per 9 last year. 3-1 here, swinging a foul out of play. The fastball looks like it's got some good life on it tonight, Jim. We just didn't really see a whole lot in that start at Comerica.
Yeah, and you know, when you haven't faced him, when you see that sinker, you realize how good it is. But, you know, he can't live by that pitch. That's why I say he's got to come up with that four-seamer. Whether he will or not, who knows?
Castellanos deep off the line at third, middle of the infield looking for something on the ground. Pelfrey got a ton of ground ball double plays turned behind him last year. Fastball low and away, misses. And Carlos Correa draws a walk. This is an Astros team that will draw some walks. They were 6th in the American League last year in drawing walks. They will swing and miss a ton. It's well known, but it really does usually stand out in any series with Houston. You might see 30, 35 strikeouts in a 3-game series with the Houston Astros. They've already struck out in 10 games 102 times. So 10 times a game.
But that's what they do.
And then they bomb the ball.
You know, if Rasmus, for instance, if you would strike him out early and he got 2 strikes on him, he's not going to choke up or come up with a different swing. He's going to swing from his heels. That's what they do.
Rasmus at the plate, midway in that left-handed batter's box. Swings and fouls it out of play. Opponents had a lot of success putting that first pitch in play against Pelfrey last year. Hit over 430. That's about 100 points higher than the league average.
I'll tell you what we have seen, though, from Pelfrey at times in spring training. With the sinker, good, but then sometimes it'd be more like a two-seamer. Did not have a lot of down to it. So 2 different looks on that pitch.
Rasmus hit 25 home runs last year. Signed the 1-year tender offer in the offseason. As he's swinging a line drive to left field, it's going to drop for a base hit. Upton will field it on one hop. They are waving Springer home. Throw to the plate. There's about a 4-hopper. Dies on the infield. Correa stops at second. Springer scores. 1-0 Astros. Hard hit line drive single to left off the bat of Colby Rasmus.
Yeah, they weren't going to throw him out anyway, but you hate to see a ground ball to the catcher. You know, you got to really aim at to try to get the cutoff man. If it's going to be a 52 hopper, you got to cut it off and maybe make a play at first base or second base then.
There's nobody lined up to cut that ball off, was it, Jimmy?
Well, the first baseman is supposed to be there. Miguel, and of course, there's a pitcher behind home plate.
I mean, that ball bounced well in front of the mound and just dribbled over the mound, but there was nobody for him to even aim for.
That's a mistake. That they've been playing so good, and playing the game the right way. That's not how you do it.
Really an opportunity for Correa to head to third on that throw home, but he stayed at second. We'll see if Pelfrey can get the ground ball. There's a pitch low and outside. 4.26 ERA in 165 innings last year with the Twins. Does not give up many extra base hits, but the contact was pretty hard in game one, and it's pretty hard so far here in his second start. Pitch low and away. Tyler White at the plate. This is one of the surprises for the Astros this year.
Yes.
We were raving about A.J. Reed when we saw the Astros in the spring. A big, strong, power-hitting, top prospect first baseman. Well, we were sneaking told, under the radar.
We were told, don't worry about this. This is the guy. Remember?
Tyler White has snuck under the radar. He's exceeded expectations everywhere he's been. There's a pitch outside, and it's a great example. 3-0 on White. He'll make you throw him a strike. Great example. Here's a 33rd round draft pick out of Western Carolina that if you hit and you just keep on hitting at every level that you stop at in the minor leagues, people are going to notice.
You just keep going. And there's no other league for him. He's at the top right now.
He was the American League Player of the Week the first week of the season. There's a strike over the heart of the plate. He was 10 for 18 with 3 home runs. I mean, this is truly a very unlikely story. And starting first baseman for the Astros.
That's right.
And maybe they were thinking, I don't know, Jim, that he was just going to keep the seat warm for A.J. Reed until they got him a little deeper into the season so the clock wouldn't start ticking on arbitration.
Well, that's right.
But Tyler White is making sure that
he's going
to keep this job. Here's the 3-1. Swing and a line foul out of play. Well back, first base side. 3-2 now on Tyler White. He walked more than he struck out in the minor leagues. Did not hit with a lot of power. But on a team, Jim, that has a lot of swing and miss guys, you would think this guy would be attractive. He makes contact, he hits for average, and some extra base power.
That's why I think right now, strike him out, throw him out, because of what you said.
1-0 Astros are in the bottom of the first. Ground ball single, walk, line drive single. Pelfrey sets. Takes a long look at Correa at second. 3-2. And he did not go. Low and away. They peeled down to first. I was waiting for the home plate umpire. I thought Jerry Davis was going to hesitate and then go up with the right hand. That pitch was very close. But it is ball 4 to load the bases. And Pelfrey's in a real jam here in the first. It looks like he's trying to get a little bit of swing back, but look at the Fox Tracks box on our monitor.
Very close.
These pitches are right there on the edge, and he's just not getting the call.
He is not getting the call, but the other thing about Mike Pelfrey is that he's a sinker baller. These other pitches you don't go wild about. And if you're a hitter, what are you going to look for? I mean, seriously, you get 2 strikes on you.
Are you surprised he didn't pound him in there with a sinker?
I'm very much surprised.
He's trying to go away.
I think
with a little tailing.
Showing too much respect. Too much respect for the hitters, I think. But again, he doesn't have that wild breaking ball or any secondary pitch to go with it.
He throws the splitter mainly to lefties. Jim, would you like to see him?
He only throws that about.
Throw it to righties occasionally?
Yeah. I
mean, he doesn't throw
both
a lot.
of them. It's that's like his changeup. Throws it 8% of the time.
Right.
He needs some sort of trick pitch, and you'd have to throw that more. Call that a trick pitch.
Evan Gaddis steps to the plate, and he takes a strike on the inside corner. With a sports hernia surgery, a little quick rehab assignment. He's only played in 1 game so far. This was a very potent bat. Another guy who hit 25-plus home runs last year, 27 home runs, and he kind of unusually high, it was freakishly high, 11 triples for Evan Gaddis last year. There's a strike on the inside corner, and it's quickly 0-2 on Evan Gaddis.
If he does throw a breaking ball like that, perhaps he needs to throw more, cut down the sinkers, because they're all really basically looking for the sinker. If you have a good secondary pitch like that splitter, throw more of them.
This is a very aggressive hitter at the plate. Won't walk much. Bends at the waist. Hangs out over the plate. This pitch low and outside. Another off-speed pitch away from Gaddis. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Looks like he's trying the splitter. Didn't do much.
One before that wasn't bad.
Correa at third, Rasmus at second, White at first, but you're just convinced he has to do that.
He has to have another pitch to go with it. I mean, high percentage of sinkers. And if you're not getting the calls, you got to have something else.
Righty on righty in this matchup. Saltalamacchia is setting up inside the 1-2. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. That's a good power sinker there in a half cut. Gaddis went too far and a big strikeout with the bases loaded and one out.
Yeah, now that had good late movement to it. That absolutely disappeared.
That's a good pitch.
Stayed on top of that one. Sometimes he's not on top, and that's when you get more of that two-seam swing back type of offering.
Gaddis has lost the big beard. You can actually see his face now.
That's right.
He looks completely different.
He does. He looks like he could pull a plow. Looks like a big old farm boy.
Well, brings up Carlos Gomez. He's off to a quiet start. There's a swing and a ground ball chopped foul down the third base line. 35 at-bats, just 7 hits so far for Carlos Gomez. Didn't provide a lot of offense after the trade from Milwaukee. He's an exciting player.
Got a lot of tools.
He's been around for a long time. He's still just 30 years old, 10 years now in the major leagues.
Remember we first saw him at Minnesota, and we start running the bases like Little League. He wouldn't stop.
He wouldn't stop.
No, just keep going.
He had 2 really good years for Milwaukee a few years ago. Did not have the same offensive numbers last year. Helfrey trying to get out of a first inning jam and limit the damage here in the first. 1-0 Houston, the strike one pitch. Breaking ball went too far, and the check swing makes it 0-2.
Now that was a bigger breaking ball. That's good. That's a major different look to the rest of his pitches.
That's a good pitch, Jim.
Sure is.
And he does not, as you said, he does not throw the curveball much.
And that's why in the hitters' meeting before the game, it's all about the sinker. Well, that you want to get to say, hey, this new breaking ball he has, though, you got to be ready for that. But so far, I guarantee you they haven't said that in their meetings.
Not when you throw it about 1 every 30 pitches, right?
Yeah. Right.
Righty on righty in this matchup. Gomez waiting on an 0-2. Helfrey sets. 6-7 righty delivers. Swinging a ground ball softly to the left side. Charging Castellanos. He has a strong throw to Cabrera at first. And that's a good job by Pelfrey to work out of what looked like a potential big inning for the Astros.
Oh, that's a big pick-me-up, what he just did.
Astros settle for 1, Strand 3. We go to the second inning in Houston. 1-0 Astros. This is the Detroit Tigers Radio Network. In part by Jeff Glover and Associates Realtors, the official real estate team of the Detroit Tigers. Every strikeout by a Tigers pitcher, University of Toledo students will be a little closer to turning their dreams into jobs as $100 is deposited into UT's Strikeouts for Scholarships account. Second inning, 1-0 Astros. Dallas Keuchel pitching to J.D. Martinez, and J.D. takes pitch off the plate inside. Now Keuchel delivers a strike on the outside corner. Arms up over his head. Lefty delivers. There's a swing, a little fly ball softly to right center. Gomez will call off the right fielder Springer and make the catch. Soft fly ball. Tigers hit the ball hard 3 different times in that first inning.
But, his whole game is an off-balance swing, and that's what J.D. provided right there. Off-balance, ball didn't go very far.
That brings up Nick Castellanos. He did a heck of a job in those 2 games in Pittsburgh, didn't he, Jimmy?
Boy, he sure did. It was good to see because we all have high hopes for Nick to get over 20 home runs.
There's a swing and a drive to center field. Gomez turned one way, then the other way. He turned the wrong way, and it's a line drive single. Jim, I don't know if that ball knuckled on him, but it was going to. Gomez is right the whole time, but he turned to his left to begin.
I don't think it knuckled. I just think he absolutely misplayed the ball. Why he went to his left and made that turn, I have no idea. And there's an outfielder that can hunt him down with the best of them.
You could see he motioned to Springer to right. That
he didn't see
something about the flight of the ball.
Yeah, the flight of the ball was hit hard.
So Castellanos, Jim, that's now in his last, I believe it's 8 at-bats. He has jumped on the first pitch 5 times.
Been watching Mickey, hasn't he?
And each time it's been a hard hit ball for a hit. That's now 3 singles, a double to the base of the wall, and a home run to left in a place where nobody hits home runs to left. Pittsburgh, in his last 8 at-bats, all in the first pitch. It's interesting.
And he should obviously keep doing it until it doesn't work.
Saltalamacchia takes strike 1. 1-0 Astros from the second inning. Glad to have you along. What a night for baseball. Great to have the roof open. There's a swing and a miss.
That's that. He's got a good curveball. It's almost like a changeup. It has good down to it. He still has that beard, doesn't he?
Still has the beard.
That's a serious beard there.
Astros, an 86-win team last year. Remember, they averaged about 108, 109 losses 3 years running. Then jumped into the low 70s in wins. There's a swing and a miss. There's the changeup. And Saltalamacchia strikes out.
He just, again, the art of pitching is just, if you're a fan of baseball, you want to see him pitch. Because it's right up there with anybody in baseball, his feel for pitching. How he can change speeds, hit his spots, and never change his mechanics are coming out a different keyhole.
And that's where he wants to throw that changeup, isn't it? It's on the outer half of the plate. Almost all of his changeups last year were away to righties or into lefties on that side of home plate, because that's where he knew he could command it the best, and that's where he got the swings and misses. He's not a hard thrower, and yet that strikeout rate has gone from 5 to 6 last year to 8.5 per 9, and that is a big deal.
Well, it's because he changes speeds, and when he does throw an 88-mile-an-hour fastball, if it's set up right, it looks like 92, 93 to the hitter.
Now it goes, swings and grounds one foul down the third base line. 1 ball, 1 strike. Anthony 6 for 22 to start this 2016 season.
It's good to see there's some boys at Toledo. Cameron Maben
is getting close. Alex Wilson may join the team this weekend. There's a swing and a soft ground ball back to the mound. He gets a lot of those. Keiko fields and flips.
Leads the world in those, doesn't he?
Yeah, Ghost is out. He gave up the hard hit ball to Castellanos, but he gets the soft ground ball to end the second. We'll see a lot of that here tonight. We'll go to the bottom of the second inning, 1-0 Astros. This is the home of Detroit Tigers baseball. Nothing Astros, bottom of the second inning brought to you by Bell Tire, where you always get the lowest price, period. Valbuena, Castro, and Altuve. There's a strike. We're not at the bottom part of the order where the pitcher has to bat. You kind of got used to that for a couple of days, and it's amazing, Jim, the difference in the feel as you get to the bottom of a National League lineup.
No question.
Or any lineup in a National League city versus American League. There's a breaking ball strike. Jim, this is really something. He's broken out the curveball.
And you know what? I think that's what we've been talking about.
You had just said, we were just talking about what does he need to do. And you said it has to be one of these secondary pitches.
Absolutely. The secondary pitches have to step up with his sinker.
It's a pretty good curveball.
Very good.
Arms up over his head, 6'7" righty delivers. Looked like the splitter at 81 in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Valbuena, Castro, and Altuve. You have home run threats really up and down this lineup. As we said, White wasn't a big power threat in the minor leagues, but he's already got 3.
Well, that's because he's with the Astros. That's what they do.
But this guy hit 25 last year, Luis Valbuena. There's a splitter low and away, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Off to a quiet start this year. There's more in the pipeline for the Astros. Put it this way, A.J. Reed, everything about him says he's going to be on this team sooner rather than later.
That's right.
Tyler White can play third base. There's a splitter a little bit low, so it's all curveballs and splitters to Valbuena. Not that Valbuena would be bumped, but I mean it just seems like that's a bat based on what we saw in the spring, but more importantly, his track record.
Right.
Guy can hit for average and big power.
There'll be a place for him.
There'll be a place for him. Valbuena spreads out in that left-handed batter's box, knees bends at the waist toward the plate, holds the hands below the left shoulder and the bat upright. There's a pitch low and outside, and he walked him.
Boy, oh boy. All right, gang, how about a tax break? The Tigers' $10 tax break from now until midnight Sunday. $10 off. The A's will be there, 25th. Visit Tigers.com and enter the coupon code TAXBREAK. How about that? We all like tax breaks. Don't you, Dan?
4 games of the Oakland A's starting on the 25th.
Yep, I got a call from my buddy Ray Fossey. Said they're coming to town. I'm supposed to get him his special pie that he likes. The Hackett's pie. I said, okay, you got it, my man.
Ray does like his. Well, who doesn't?
Didn't he take it with him one time last year? He went off with the Coke and the cream.
Kansas City's in Oakland tonight. There's a sinker low and outside, so 3 walks, and Jim, each time he has missed with a fastball on a 3-2 pitch.
Well, he's somehow, in my opinion, he's got to come up with something that he knows besides the sinker that he can get over the plate and fool the hitter.
Toss over to first to drive Valbuena back, not a base-stealing threat.
But, I mean, you look at his numbers. I mean, it's very simple. When the hitting coaches say, look, sinker, 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 occasional this, occasional that, till you get 2 strikes on, you can guess.
That's right. There aren't many pitchers who throw almost 3/4 of their pitches fastballs, other than Bartolo Colon. And Bartolo Colon, it works for him.
He throws, 98%?
Some games it truly is 98%.
He's a beauty.
Castro takes a pitch outside. This is not a great double play candidate. He hits a lot of balls in the air. Only grounded into 5 double plays last year, but Pelfrey could use a ground ball right here. Got 3 ground balls in the first. One was a single, 2 bounce outs. Ground ball off of Pelfrey, wouldn't you know it, to Iglesias, picks it up, throws, won't get it. He got the ground ball he was looking for, and Kinsler, I think, would have grabbed it, Jim, right by second base, but it glanced off of Pelfrey and kicked into kind of no man's land between second and third.
Kinsler got it, stepped on the bag, and threw out the runner at first. That was a double play ball right there. Hit hard. It happened to hit the back of the calf of Pelfrey, but it was either going to be Iglesias or Kinsler get that ball, and it would have been a double play.
Yeah, it was not going to get into center field.
No, that's a bad break.
So, ground ball. Right back to the pitcher. Couldn't get it. And runners at first and second. Nobody out. And the lineup turns over for the dangerous and highly entertaining Jose Altuve.
He's a wonderman. He really is.
Batting title 2 years ago. Kind of a slow start last year. And he ended up hitting .313. Add a little power to his game. And there's a breaking ball strike on the outside corner.
Close enough.
200 hits for the second straight year. Home runs jumped from 7 to 15, and he had 40 doubles to go with it, and 38 steals.
He's quite a player.
5'5", 175-pound right-handed batter. Saltalamacchia is setting up away. Strike 1 pitch is a sinker away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Altuve hit a hard ground ball to short. His first time up. Springer is waiting on deck. Pelfrey worked out of a bases-loaded 1-out jam. 1 run was in, and Jim, he was impressive against Gaddis and Gomez to end the inning.
He overpowered Gaddis.
And then the leadoff walk here in the second.
And Gomez.
Mostly right-handed bats in this lineup tonight for Pelfrey. Swing and a miss. Like the splitter down.
Very good.
1 ball, 2 strikes, but
that's a deception that it's going to fool some hitters until he throws it more and more and more. Then when they have their meetings, they're going to say, hey, now you got to watch out for the splitter. But that ball just dropped off the table.
Really, he's got some nice tumbling action and
it does.
Big drop.
Yep. And it's like a change up plus with action.
So he is definitely changing up his pitching style here tonight.
You had to.
Pelfrey sets. 2 on, nobody out. The 1-2. Oh, my goodness. Fastball just misses.
I'm with you there.
Jim, that's a perfect pitch.
I got to take a look at that.
Man.
How do you take that pitch?
I mean, 3 times a ball that on our Fox Tracks box shows right at the edge of the strike zone, nipping the outside corner.
That's an awful.
Usually you would get some of those calls. He has gotten none of those calls tonight. Now Saltalamacchia is setting up inside. The 2-2. Low and outside. A lot of pitches thrown, and suddenly, here in the second inning, a big pitch.
Well, you just can't keep doing this.
They need innings from starters right now. The starters, only one starter has gone more than 6 innings. So the bullpen has been, Wilson, we found out after the game, wasn't even available yesterday.
Right.
The bullpen's getting heavily used right now.
They're good, but if you keep using them, there'll be a white flag out there.
They need some innings.
Yeah.
Saltalamacchia is setting up inside. See if he can get that good sinker in. No, it's a sinker in the same spot, in the dirt, away. Mike Pelfrey does not walk a lot of batters. He has walked 4 of the first 10 batters here tonight, and the bases are reloaded with nobody out, heading into the heart of the order for the Astros. And again, Rich Doobie coming out. Jim, he's missing badly with that sinker after throwing some really good ones to Gaddis and Gomez to end the first.
I think those calls that he's not getting are bothering him. I really do.
You can't blame him.
And then, maybe try to overthrow it to make sure he gets the strike, and then you lose the feel of the command.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, because Saltalamacchia is setting up in.
Yeah.
He can hit that all day long.
Yeah,
and he's missed badly low and away.
He's had 3 or 4 pitches that nipped the corners on the outside part of the plate and down, and he did not get the calls. And I've caught pitchers like that. Then they want to overthrow,
Well, conversation over, and this veteran now has to find a way to not only get out of this bases loaded jam with limited the damage, but also he needs to give the Tigers some innings here tonight.
Yeah, I would think the bench might be talking to home plate umpire a little bit.
There's a little stirring in that Tigers bullpen. I don't know if anybody's going to get up and start throwing, but you don't want this game to get out of hand in the second inning either. Here's a ground ball chopped foul down the third base line off the bat of George Springer. This is one of the many exciting young players. They just need him to stay healthy.
Yeah, he's a big-time guy.
Hit by a pitch, fractured his wrist. It's not like he's a fragile person. I mean, he's had some freakish injuries.
He's a big, strong kid.
But he's 26 years old, and he's got 25 home run power, maybe even more than that, and he can steal that many bases as well. Those kinds of players there just aren't many of them these days. And this guy could be that. There's a strike on the inside corner. Terrific athlete and just a heck of a player.
A player like this doesn't come along very often because he's big, he can run, he can hit, he can catch the ball, and he can throw. What else is it? And he's a nice guy, too.
Waiting on the 0-2. Swing and a pop foul over the screen. We're perched above home plate just to the first base side here at Minute Maid Park.
Got a hanger.
He really did, right over the heart of the plate. Remember when we were here last year, the plan was to get rid of Tal's Hill and straightaway center.
Yeah, it's still there.
And
what happened?
There it is, Tal's Hill.
Well, why would they want to get rid of it anyway?
Because it's 436 to hit one out.
Well, but it's pretty. Let's have some pretty.
It is pretty.
It's pretty.
Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. That's a really good breaking ball, or was that the splitter, Jimmy?
I think it was a breaking ball.
Yeah,
outstanding.
82 on the outside edge with some sharp late break.
That's right, and that's when a breaking ball is good. Not a called. It wouldn't have been a called strike. That's the deception. So we're seeing some things now not because we talked about it, but I got the feeling that might have been the game plan.
Yeah,
he has to have more than a sinker.
That was the the splitter.
Yeah,
watching the replay. It's got some terrific movement, both down and that time down and away.
As big as he is, there's no reason why he couldn't throw a good, really better breaking ball and a better splitter. That size where he's throwing down at the hitter.
Well, just what we're talking about. I mean, he can, with this arm, get more swings and misses and more strikeouts.
Absolutely.
He's walked 4 and struck out 2. We're 11 batters in. Can he strand 2 again? There's a swing and a foul, or strand 3 again. Correa at the plate.
Well, you just can't keep doing it and be successful. You got to get out of this one and then don't do it anymore. That's your limit, right? 2 times.
Tigers saw Correa not in the first series last year, but in the second. He was 3 for 7 in 3 games, Jim, with 6 walks.
Yeah.
A little bit of respect.
That's right.
For Carlos Correa last year.
20-year-old kid.
Andy walked his first time up, so the Tigers have walked him 7 times in 14 trips to the plate. last year and this. Fastball low and outside. No place to put him this time. 1 ball, 1 strike. Big kid who's still going to fill out this frame.
Oh, boy.
6'4", 210-pound athletic. Terrific shortstop. And as his manager said, just wants to get better every day. And he's going to. 22 home runs. He had not shown that kind of power in the minor leagues. 22 as an Astro last year. 1-1, swinging a foul out of play, well back first base side. That's a quality fastball away.
Well, in my opinion, what has happened now that he's throwing the splitter and the breaking ball, that makes the fastball better. It's not 90% fastballs anymore. Now he's got him where he wants him.
46 pitches thrown by Mike Pelfrey, and there's only 1 out here in the second inning. We saw Shane Green throw 35 in the first the other day.
Boy, he
ended up going 6.
He was good.
Correa waiting on the 1-2. Saltalamacchia giving the high target. The pitch. Fastball up and away. Not tempting.
Well,
2 balls and 2 strikes.
Set up pitch. So this is either going to be the splitter.
I like the splitter here, don't you?
Yeah, or the fastball down and in.
Just doesn't seem like he's been able to make that pitch except to Gaddis.
Yeah, because Salty set up a couple times inside and the ball was outside.
Yeah. Roof is open. The sun has set here in Houston. 75-degree night at game time. Saltalamacchia again setting up inside. See if he can get that sinker in. The 2-2. Swinging a ground ball to short. Hit hard, but right to Iglesias. To Kinzer. 1 relay to first. Inning-ending double play. Mike Pelfrey does it again.
Well, you hit a rocket and you hit it right at somebody, you can get 2. Donation to Jack's Place for Autism, donated by Zoomer Buick GMC.
Astros load the bases with none out and do not score. Mike Pelfrey living on the edge. We played 2 1-0 Astros on the Detroit Tigers Radio Network. Pitch Speech today brought to you by X1 from Xfinity. It will change the way you experience sports. 1-0 Astros. Jose Iglesias leads off in the third for the Tigers. First pitch is low. Today's game brought to you in part by McDonald's, which brews the official coffee of the Detroit Tigers Radio Network. Mike Pelfrey has left 6 on base in 2 innings, Mr. Price.
You can't keep living that way.
I don't think so.
It's not going to, you just can't keep doing that.
Cutter into Iglesias, and it's 2-0. Pelfrey has walked 4 and given up 3 singles and stranded 6 in 2 innings. There's a strike on the outside corner. It was a heck of a job to get out of a bases-loaded, none-out jam, but
it was, the bullet hit right at the shortstop. Any to the right or to the left, that's the base hit.
9-1 2-hitters against Dallas Keuchel. There's a strike on the outside corner. Dallas Keuchel walked more than 3 batters in a game once last year. In his first 2 starts this year, he walked 4 and 6. To give you an idea of just how unusual those 10 walks that my partner was talking about are for this guy through 2 starts. Ground ball foul, impeccable command.
And also, he's got to get an umpire that's going to give him those borderline pitches too. Taking nothing away from him, but he has earned their respect, the umpires. And
we saw that in the first.
They like to call games when he pitches. They know he works quick.
Here's the 2-2. Swinging a line drive right to Jose Altuve at second base. First trip through the order.
Boy.
And the Tigers had 5 line drive at bats. 3 singles, 2 lineouts.
Boy, how about getting your Tigers $10 tax break from now until midnight? Sunday, $10 off, select seats. The A's will be in town. Visit Tigers.com and enter the coupon code TAXBREAK.
Tigers first saw Dallas Keuchel in 2013 when they came in here for a 4-game series and wiped out the then, rebuilding Astros.
That's right.
Not tanking, rebuilding Astros. They didn't have anybody on that team.
They had nobody.
The Tigers came in here in May. I want to say they had Carlos Pena, but they'd let him go, hadn't they, at that point?
I think they did.
There's a swinging a fly ball, center field deep. Gomez going back some more, tracking it. He'll make the catch running under the warning track, and then up Tal's Hill in straightaway center. That's another good swing for Ian Kinsler. That's 5 good swings for the Tigers through 10 batters, and they don't have anything to show for it, trailing 1-0.
Every day in, boy, I tell you, he's staying through that zone. He's not spinning that upper body at all, and that's why the ball is going like it's going. If I remember right, he came in relief.
That's what I was going to say. They first saw him
Yeah.
in relief. Didn't really shut them down. It was an extra inning game. Gave up 4 runs in 4 innings, but I remember we were impressed with him.
They had nobody else.
He had to keep going out there inning after inning. Tigers roughed him up in the start later that year, and now last 2 seasons. Last year it was 7 innings, 1 run with 8 strikeouts, as Jim mentioned, 7 2/3, 2 runs, 7 strikeouts the year before. He has been phenomenal the last 2 years for the Astros. The strike one, swinging a foul back to the screen.
It'd be fun to catch because he works the catcher. The catcher doesn't work him. But to see the change of speeds, the different speeds on all of his pitches, but again, comes out of the right keyhole all the time.
It's not a big mystery what he's going to do.
Get you off balance.
Now Castro setting up inside. The 0-2, swinging a fly ball right center field softly, and that's going to drop. Springer in to field it on a hop. Upton knew he could not let a pitch come in off the plate with 2 strikes.
Right.
He saw that his first time up and got called out. So he swung at a pitch that might have been off the plate inside, but he drops it into right.
Well, he was smart.
Anytime you can extend the inning for Miguel Cabrera, that's a good thing.
Yes, it is. The big man's do.
He is.
He's going to rattle off 3 for 4, 4 for 4, 1 for 2, 2 for 3. We've seen it too many times.
This ballpark's got a reputation as a hitter's ballpark. It really hasn't played that way the last 3 years. It's still a home run hitter's ballpark. But in terms of run scoring, it's been neutral for run scoring the last 3 years. Here's a ground ball to second base, down to Anita fielded Altuve. Quick flip to Correa for the force on Upton, and just like that the third inning is over.
Boy, my goodness.
We go to the bottom of the third inning in Houston. 1-0 Astros. This is the home of Detroit Tigers baseball. Bottom of the third inning, 1-0 Astros. Dan Dickerson, Jim Price, glad to have you along on a Friday night from Minute Maid Park in Houston.
Very nice.
Third inning today brought to you by Sunoco. Proud to fuel the Detroit Tigers. The roof, when we were here last August, was closed, I believe, all 3 games.
Because it was like 182 degrees in here. Or outside.
The heat index is 88 or below, they'll open it. That's a pretty high number.
Well,
it was 75 at game time today.
This is perfect.
Curveball outside. Colby Rasmus at the plate.
He should change his stance a little bit and the bat over that shoulder.
Knees bent, bends at the waist toward the plate, extends the hands away from the left shoulder, and then cocks the bat over it. A pitch in the dirt makes it 2-0.
Yeah, that's new, where he lays the bat on that shoulder. He's always up in the box.
Pelfrey has been behind most batters here tonight. There's a fastball that just nipped the outside corner.
Got a call.
So again, that's outside to a lefty.
That's right. That's the difference.
He gets the call.
Right.
Outside to a righty.
He does not get the call.
And that's fairly typical of most umpire strike zones. There's a swinging line drive on one hop to the outfield grass. Castellanos has it. He'll throw from the ground, but has no chance to get Rasmus. That ball was smoked.
Man.
And Nick did a nice job in the overshift in the shallow right field grass. Made a diving stop, but the ball just trickled away. If he'd actually gloved that cleanly, he had a chance to throw him out.
Oh, absolutely. But, boy, that was a rocket. He can hit. He's in that cleanup spot for a reason.
Well, contact has been pretty hard. Even the ground balls have been hit hard.
Yep. Can't keep doing up hits and walks and expect to hit a bullet at somebody to hit too.
Pelfrey gave up a run in the first, stranded 3. Walked a man, gave up a single, walked another man, loaded the bases, none out in the second inning, got out of it without a run scoring. Stranded, 2 because of the inning double play.
The Adam ball bailed him out.
But the leadoff man is on here in the third. Pitch count already at 52 for Mike Pelfrey. Could use a quick inning. That's an understatement. Here's First pitch, strike on the outside corner to Tyler White.
Got a good call there.
White is now 25 years old, this native of Mooresboro in North Carolina.
I played in North Carolina. Boy, what a great state. Beautiful state.
Some pretty areas there, aren't there?
It's a nice area.
The whole state.
I played in Kinston, North Carolina. It was great.
The strike one, up and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. He kind of got overlooked. He was a little heavy set. 5'11", heavy set guys who can hit a little bit in college are not usually going to get a lot of notice.
But what you said, what he's done, he's earned it.
He can hit.
Yeah.
He's got that hit tool.
No matter what roly-poly body he's got, he can hit.
And he dropped some weight and just hit his way through the minor leagues. There's a pitch outside, and Jonathan Singleton, who was so highly thought of, has just been bypassed by Tyler White and I would think A.J. Reed. There's no question. Both have bypassed Jonathan Singleton, who was really a top prospect not that long ago.
Can only be a prospect so long. Then time runs out. Left-handed hitter.
Not enough contact for Jonathan Singleton. Rasmus edges off at first. Another good hitter's count for an Astros hitter. The 2-1. There's a strike on the outside corner. That's the pitch he's been trying to grab the outside corner with all night, and that's the first time he's gotten a called strike with that. It's kind of a fastball, little swing back. It's not the sinker,
it's not the sinker, no. It's more like a two-seamer.
Comes back over the outside corner just slightly. Health was a big issue for Mike Pelfrey in his career. Tommy John surgery in 2012. A back strain 2013. There's a pitch outside, a groin strain in 2014. It was 3 years where he didn't pitch a whole lot. And then last year, he really felt like at age 31, he was as healthy as he'd been in a long time. And it showed. His fastball jumped. Best velocity he'd had since really early days of his career. Average fastball was up from 91 to over 93 miles an hour. That's a big jump at 31. Rasmus takes off, pitch low and away. Another walk.
This has got to stop.
Jim, I'm trying to figure out what. I mean, in the cold, you can
give him a break.
Give him a break.
Not tonight.
It's perfect conditions, you would think, for a pitcher tonight. It's not humid. It's 75 degrees. This is a guy who doesn't walk many, and he's walked 5 of the first 14 batters.
He's trying to be too perfect, in my opinion. From a catcher's standpoint, you got to give up a little more of the plate. You can't say, "I want this on the black, knee high." You can't. Obviously, he can't do that all the time. So you got to give up a little bit more of the plate and trust your stuff. Wow. That means don't just throw sinkers, throw those other pitches too.
Got the first out in the first inning. The next 4 reached. Astros settled for 1. First 3 reached last inning. Astros did not score. First 2 have reached here in the third. Eventually, this is all going to come crashing down on Mike Pelfrey. This lineup is too good. Gaddis at the plate.
Well, those guys behind him.
Sinker low and outside.
The guys behind him, they're out there almost every day.
On their heels.
I guarantee you they're saying below their breath, "Oh, please get one over."
Comerica customers, you can get VIP benefits at Tigers home games this year. For more, go to Comerica.com. 1-0 pitch, swinging a pop-up will be playable behind home plate. Saltalamacchia over with room. He'll make the catch by the Tigers dugout for out number 1.
Well, that's a good pitch. See there, he trusted his stuff. That got a lot of the plate. At some time, you have to say, "Hey, my stuff can get him out."
That's right.
He's not the type of pitcher to hit the corner, the black all the time on the plate.
Today's game brought to you in part by ABC Warehouse, closest thing to wholesale. And instant replay brought to you every game by the Sam Bernstein Law Firm. When you need the right call made, it's 1-800. Call Sam. We're in the bottom of the third inning. 1-0 Astros. 4 base runners in the first, 1 run. 3 base runners in the second, no runs. 2 base runners here in the third. No runs with 1 out. Swing and a miss. There is the splitter, and it's been a good pitch for him tonight. Gomez took a big cut. Helmet popped off. Strike 1.
You know, he's off to a remember, he was batting cleanup at one time. Not when he hasn't even driven a run yet.
Jim, the splitter's good.
Got to keep throwing it.
Strike one pitch. Fastball low and away. He has missed with that pitch, low and away, more than he probably has in the game in a long, long time. That's a pitch that you pound down and into righties, and it's down and away.
He's trying to get like a swing back action to get the corner. So I said at one time you have to trust what you have.
Now Saltalamacchia setting up outer half. Swing and a miss. Back to the splitter.
Beautiful.
What's the key to a splitter, Jim? Is it the arm speed?
It's the arm speed and pulling down on the ball.
And he's got that arm speed.
Oh, and he's got the height. Even make it better. You know, big blackjack Morris. That's what he always talked about. I had the height and I could really pull down on the ball.
This is not the pitcher that the Astros were prepared to face tonight.
No.
Credit to Saltalamacchia and Pelfrey for making an in-game adjustment. Now he needs some quick outs. The 1-2. Fastball away. His pitch, the pitch he throws 3/4 of the time, has just not been there for him tonight.
Nope. Now, to me, that was a setup pitch. If he doesn't,
any need to go with anything other than the splitter right here?
Why? This guy sets on the fastball. He jumps out of his heels, or shoes, excuse me. Not his heels.
With his heels.
With his heels with him, and his piggies also.
Rasmus, the runner at second, White at first. Righty on righty in this matchup. Saltalamacchia is setting up low and in again. He's not been able to hit his target there all night. And again, it's a fastball outside. He's missing his target.
Yep.
Each time that Saltalamacchia sets up low and in, looking for clearly a sinker, he's missed low and away almost every time, Jim, other than the pitch to Gaddis in the first.
You're absolutely right. To me, he's halfway through his motion, he's saying, I don't want to go in there.
Very strange. That's how he made his living. And he made some good starts for the Twins last year. We saw two of them. Here's the 3-2. Swinging a ground ball up the middle, backhanded by Kinsler. Taps the second base with a behind-the-back tap with his right foot, reaching back, and then he throws the first, inning double play.
Everyday Ian, way to go, buddy. Donation to Jack's Place for Autism, donated by Super Buick GMC. He's living dangerously. He
really is. Again, the first two get on for the Astros, but Pelfrey gets his second double play. We played 3 in Houston, 1-0 Astros on the Detroit Tigers Radio Network. Victor Martinez. J.D. Martinez, Victor Martinez, followed by J.D. Martinez. Leading off the fourth inning, Nick Castellanos will follow. 1-0 Astros.
It's amazing it's just 1-0.
It's incredible that it's just 1-0. Dallas Keuchel delivers a strike on the outside corner. Victor batting righty against the lefty. Again, Keuchel works way over third base side of the rubber. Stands in looking at home plate at a slight angle. Takes the quick step back with the right foot. Arms up over his head. Into his motion. The 0-1 curveball misses away. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Astros have left 6 on, but without 2 double plays, it's 8 left on through the first 3, and that's how many base runners they have had on against Mike Pelfrey. Here's the 1-1 curveball. Beauty.
Wow.
Snapped it off, called strike 1 and 2.
Victor 4 for 10 lifetime with a home run off this lefty.
Astros shift a lot. They have led the world with Tampa in the American League. Pittsburgh has done it in the National League. 3 infielders on the left side for Victor. Swinging a soft ground ball off his foot, it looked like. Dribbles over by the Tigers dugout. He's hopping around at home plate right now. He's got that protective plate on top of his foot by his ankle on his left foot, but I guess he missed it.
Yeah, listen, he's seen 3 different types of breaking balls in this at bat. One a little flatter, then another a little more break to it, then run a bigger curveball with that's slower.
Victor's taking a moment before he digs back in. 1-0 Astros. Each team with 4 hits. The Tigers have had plenty of good swings against Keuchel. Ran themselves out of a potentially, if not big inning, run-scoring inning in the first when Kinsler was thrown out trying to go first to third on a Cabrera single. Soft ground ball, right side, hugging the line. That'll be fielded by the first baseman, White, and apparently fielded it in fair territory.
He did.
And he tags out Victor Martinez. He fielded it right on that first base line, 1 out.
Sunday the 24th, the Indians will be in Motown, 1:10. It's kids' opening day. All you kiddies, 14 and under, get a Tigers team baseball card set brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. Just call this number, find out about tickets, 866-66-TIGER, or visit Tigers.com.
Dallas Keuchel's first start at home this year. You think he's pretty comfortable here?
Oh, his record is incredible.
A perfect record at home last year. He was just kind of okay on the road, but he was so good at home. That's how he won the Cy Young. There's a pitch outside. 15 wins, 0 defeats in 18 starts, a 1.46 ERA, and opponents hit 180 with no power.
How good is that?
It was dominance. Here's the 1-0. Cutter on the inside corner for a called strike. J.D. with a fly ball to center field his first time up. So it's 3:15 down the line, but it's a big wall that you have to carry down the left field line. J.D. takes a pitch just off the plate away. A 19-foot wall in left, and then kind of amazingly, it goes up to 25 feet in left center where it says 362. So it's actually a poke to get it out. Here's a ground ball softly to third. Nice big hop for Valbuena off the line. He fields and flips over to first base to get J.D. Martinez on a 2-1. J.D. grounds out to third, and then 404 in deepest left center. 436 is the back of Tal's Hill, which means nobody ever hits one there.
That's right, and they keep it nice, though, don't they? It's very nice, pretty. The American flag is there.
Right center field is 373, and then right field line is 326.
They say the right field, the ball travels pretty good here.
Yeah, this is a good home run hitter's ballpark, better for lefties.
Yes.
Now Castellanos takes strike on the outside corner.
Now, if Pelfrey would have thrown that, it would have been a ball.
The fence was supposed to be, and apparently they will do it next year, in front of what is Tal's Hill and straightaway center. There's his line drive to left field. Going back is Rasmus. He'll make the catch. Nick with another good swing. He is on everything right now, and it's a line out to end the fourth.
Good swing again.
1, 2, 3, fourth inning for Dallas Keuchel and the Astros. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning in Houston. 1-0 Astros on the Detroit Tigers Radio Network. One nothing Astros, bottom of the fourth inning. Fourth inning brought to you by the Sam Bernstein Law Firm. Call 1-800-CALL-SAM. Today's game brought to you in part by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, the official health care provider of the Detroit Tigers Radio Network. Mike Pelfrey, we'll say it again, could use a quick inning.
Boy, I tell you, those guys behind him are praying for a quick inning.
Valbuena takes ball one, left-handed batter against the righty. Now a swing and a miss. Fastball, inner half of the plate. And Valbuena, left-handed batter, swung right through it. Again, most of the bats in the heart of the order are righties. You would think that would, with a good sinker, be advantage Pelfrey. It has not been tonight. Looked like the splitter away from Valbuena. Misses 2-1. There's been a lot of these counts. 2-1, 3-1, 2-0 on Astros batters. 5 walks issued by Pelfrey. 2-1 pitch. Swinging a foul out of play.
You're seeing a lot of those players behind him with their hands on their hips, and not getting down into position until the last minute. That's because they've been out there a long time.
Overshifted infield defense. Castellanos about 20 feet under the outfield grass and right. Iglesias, the lone infielder on the left. The outfield plays Valbuena to pull. The windup in the 2-2. Swinging a soft ground ball past the mound, and Pelfrey will just reach out that left arm, that lanky frame, grab it, run right to first, make the play on assisted.
Yep, he's a big guy. He only needed maybe 2 strides to get to first base then.
If he doesn't make it, nobody else does.
Nope. Hey, want to say hello to a couple fantasy campers. Have a nice jersey up here for Dan and me. There's policeman Brian Nolf, N-O-L-F-F, and his father Bud in Flint, Michigan. Nice area. Tom Deal and David Orlansky, they're policemen here in Texas, and they're great guys, but fantasy campers. Sent a T-shirt up for Dan, several for Jim.
They came down from Dallas.
Yeah, they're great. They're fantasy campers, but they're on the police force, and I got 2, you got 1.
Seems only right.
They're my friends. Good guys.
Very nice.
Yeah, they're great people, and we appreciate what they do for us.
Jason Castro at the plate. First pitch is a little bit low to Castro. Ground ball single his first time up. It was actually a fieldable ball for Pelfrey, but as he turned to field it, went off the back of his knee. And ricocheted over by shortstop, but everybody was safe. Here's the 1-0. Low and inside. If you missed it yesterday, Drew Verhagen had one of the worst luck days you'll see a pitcher have in a baseball game in Pittsburgh. A couple of infield dribblers extended the inning. And then when was the ground ball that hit the bag? That was the next inning, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But Drew Verhagen actually made some decent pitches yesterday. His final line wasn't reflective of how well he pitched.
He's been a great addition to that bullpen.
There's a swing and a miss, good fastball in. Again, Alex Wilson is expected to rejoin this. If all goes well today, he'll probably might rejoin the Tigers this weekend.
And he's a Texas boy, so he'd like to do that.
Here's the 2-1. Strike on the outside corner now, starting to dial in the fastball. He's nipping the corners. Another lefty at the plate. Castro had offensive breakthrough season in 2013. He was an all-star and just has not been able to hit really since.
No, he hasn't. Does a job behind the dish, but no help hitting.
He's getting better and better behind home plate.
He is.
As a defensive catch for 2-2. Swinging a ground ball foul. I was looking at his numbers today, Jim, in terms of how many extra strikes he gets for his pitchers. He's gone from well below average to well above average in a couple of years. And you think about James McCann. He's below average last year, and
he will
that's
get
what the
above
Tigers
That's right.
are looking for.
Sure, he
that
will.
Progression. It can happen.
Yeah, James will do it. No question about it. Today he was working out. I saw him working out on the bicycle in the strength and conditioning room.
I bet he's off the DL about as quick as he can.
You really have to sit on him, you know.
Here's the 2-2. Outside of the fastball.
Where was that pitch?
Wow.
Boy, oh boy.
You can see the frustration in.
Yeah, I guess it was.
It was off the plate away.
But you got to swing at that pitch. It's good late movement. That's why he was frustrated.
He just wants one of these pitches. That was not as close as some of the others. Here's the 3-2. Swinging a line drive, base it into center, right over Pelfrey's head. Sharp line drive off the bat of Castro's now 2 for 2. A 1-out single here in the fourth inning brings up Jose Altuve. Tigers have lost, as we mentioned in that series a couple of years ago when Houston was not a very good team. They pounded Astros pitching for 4 games, scored 37 runs. In 6 games here the last 2 years, to give you a feel for how things have changed with the Astros, the Tigers have only scored 21 runs and have not hit many home runs in this home run friendly ballpark.
Well, you know, the fans were, because of last year, they were expecting to come out of the box and be the best team in baseball, but they came out of the box not playing the game that as well as they did last year. But that happens to everybody. You have a slump, then you have hitting streaks.
There's a swing and a fly ball, center field, deep, going back goes, tracking it. He'll turn, backpedal, make the catch in deep straightaway center. Altuve gave it a ride, but that's the wrong part of the ballpark. He hit a deep fly ball.
Yeah, he wants to hit line drives. But, they have an exciting team, some young, great athletes, but some teams start out in a slump like the Twins.
And plus, they just played Kansas City. In Kansas City, it looks like they're picking up right where they left off, don't they?
They're something else. And I asked one of the scouts, I said, were you here? He said, yeah. He said, you still have to hit the ball out or they catch it. Oh, that's great.
Look at their wins, Jim. Yesterday it was 6-2. It was a misplayed ball by Springer and Wright, but 4-2 the day before, 3-2 the day before. I mean, they're winning all these games, 3-2, 4-2. Tight, low-scoring games where their defense, base running, and pitching all comes into play. Springer hits one softly on the ground. By the way, there's something to watch for in this series. Springer's lost 4 balls in the new
that's right.
LED lights, which are shining in his eyes in right field.
Yeah, they're brand new this year.
They had the halogen lights that spread the light out. The LED lights apparently a little more concentrated, and he's lost 4 balls in the lights already, including one yesterday that really cost the Astros and Doug Fister in what was a pretty good start for Doug until the 6th inning. So you would think it's probably going to be an issue for J.D. Martinez, especially
and they
in
said
this series.
When it was closed and those lights, it was like a bright day.
I asked A.J. Hinch about that, and he said they're just going to have to do something with repositioning them so that they're not so direct into the outfielder's eyes. There's a pitch outside because he's used to the lights. He's used to finding the ball through the lights, but these LED lights are so much brighter and more concentrated that He's losing the ball with regularity.
So, in other words, they did dance to him before they put those lights up there, did they?
They work better.
Springer.
Man on 2 outs. 2-1 again on an Astros hitter. The pitch swing and a miss.
My goodness.
Springer wanted to not just carry the wall in left, he wanted to carry the railroad tracks above the wall that's above the wall in left.
Yeah, that's right. And,
he wanted to launch.
That's his 2-strike swing also.
Wow, did he take a cut. That ball would have gone a long way.
Yeah, amazing he didn't hurt himself. Now, as he gets older, he can't do that.
6'3", 205-pound right-handed batter, upright stance, knees bent, cocks the bat tight over the right shoulder. The 2-2, runner goes, pitch low and outside, thrown on to second base, and off the glove of Kinsler in the shallow center. And Castro will head on over to third. Saltalamacchia had very little chance to get Castro, got a good jump, and then the ball bounced past Kinsler. A throwing error will put Castro on third.
Well, he had a good jump. They read something with Pelfrey, and he got a very good jump. And the ball was a horrible throw. I mean, it was an in-between hop, and even Ian could not come up with the ball. If he can't come up with it,
nobody.
You know, that's right, nobody can.
Remember, Saltalamacchia has a good arm. Brad Osmus says it's a strong arm. He just has never been very good throwing base runners out.
Right. Well, they worked hard, as I told you, in getting rid of the ball, his release and his mechanics.
And also remember, he was in Boston some of those years. And they don't pay attention to runners.
That's right. Which never made much sense to me. But
for years, they've made it a low priority.
Yeah.
Now the 3-2 to Springer. He's swinging a fly ball right field on a line. Right to J.D. Martinez. He'll reach up and make the catch. Springer hit it hard. And it's the third out here in the fourth.
Boy. Good swing,
Mike Pelfrey somehow has gotten through 4 innings today with 5 walks and a lot of hard hit balls by only allowing 1 run.
Living dangerously.
We head to the 5th inning in Houston. 1-0 Astros on the Detroit Tigers Radio Network.
Comerica.
Detroit Tigers tripled this season. Powell Miller donates $300 to the American Heart Association. Powell Miller and the Miller Law Firm, lawyers who support the community. The vehicle sold at Buff Wayland Chevrolet this year. Donations being made to the 97 Won the Ticket Student Heart Check Program that screens high school student athletes for potential heart problems. Brought to you by the Children's Miracle Network and Buff Wayland Chevrolet, where deals truly make a difference every day. 1-0 Astros, incredibly 1-0.
Boy, it's amazing.
As we go to the top of the 5th inning.
This makes no sense at all.
It has the feel of a 4-1 or 5-1 game, but it's 1-0. Saltalamacchia takes a pitch outside, bottom third of the order. Saltalamacchia, Ghost, and Iglesias. Tigers, as a team, have averaged 6 runs a game, hitting .295. Here's a ground ball to short. Well, it's actually Altuve on the left field side of second in the overshift. The putout will go 4-3 as he throws out Saltalamacchia. The Tigers have hit .295, averaging 6 runs a game to the first 8 games of the season. They have hit 13 home runs.
Team can do it. I tell you, what I've seen with the Tigers, it's a good ball club. It's a darn good ball club.
I think what we've seen with the offense, Jim, they can hit the hardest throwers. And that wasn't always the case with the right-handed heavy lineup last year. There's a strike on the outside corner. They have shown they can hit the hardest throwing right-handers that teams could throw at them.
You know, they like guys that are throwers. And that's what you're talking about, not pitchers, throwers.
And they did just enough against a very hard thrower yesterday. Here's a ground ball knocked down by Keuchel behind the mound. He'll calmly pick it up, throw, and get Anthony Ghost at first. Dallas Keuchel fields his position better than anybody else in all of baseball. He's saved a ton of runs with his play the last 2 years, and no one else is really even close. And we just saw it right there.
Well, so he was Cy Young Award winner, right? Other pitchers, pay attention. You can help yourself. I mean, remember Kenny Rogers? He and I talked about that, and he said, Jimmy, you got to be aware of the game around you. And that really says it all. When you throw the ball, you're a defender.
He induces a lot of weak contact, fields a lot of balls in front of the mound, but he makes a lot of plays around the mound. And he stops the running game. It's the complete package.
It is.
There's a strike to Jose Iglesias. 1-0 Astros in the top of the 5th inning. 5th inning today brought to you by the DMC. All-star lineups deserve all-star DMC docs. There's a breaking ball strike. Well, this is what we've gotten used to seeing from Dallas Keuchel, isn't it?
He is something. He is a surgeon.
Last 2 years, he's made 2 terrific starts, including one here last year, and he's doing it again here tonight.
Boy.
not walked a batter after walking 10. Here's a soft ground ball to first on a jam job. Fielded by White. He'll step on the bag, moving to his left. And another 1-2-3 inning on 3 soft ground balls.
What a pitcher.
We head to the bottom of the 5th in Houston. 1-0 Astros. This is the home of Detroit Tigers baseball. 1-0 Astros, bottom of the 5th inning. Dan Dickerson, Jim Price, glad to have you along. It's Friday night from Minute Maid Field in Houston. Tim Jetski, David Obert, our engineers for tonight's game. Mike Pelfrey still on the mound. Dallas Keuchel's pitch count just crossed the 50-pitch threshold in the top half of this inning. Mike Pelfrey is at 85 as we start the bottom of the 5th inning.
It's amazing. It's only 1-0.
Stranded 3 in the first. Bases loaded, none out in the second. Got a double play ball to end that inning. There's a swing and a foul out of play. He really did change up his pitching style. The sinker was getting hit, so he went to a few curveballs.
Yep.
And some pretty darn good splitters.
Both of them acted like all-speed pitches.
There has been hard contact in every inning. Often a couple of batters each inning.
That's right.
And yet,
Tigers are hanging around.
1 run for Houston. Here's a ground ball hit hard to third. To his left, Castellanos has it. Popped out of his glove for a moment, but he recovered quickly. Fired to Cabrera. His throws to Cabrera have been very strong and accurate. 1 up, 1 down.
Indians will be in Motown at 23rd. 1 o'clock start. First 10,000 fans get an apron. The D Retro bobblehead. Just visit Tigers.com or call 866-66-Tiger.
Well, this will be something if Mike Pelfrey can figure out a way to go not just 5, maybe even 6.
That's right.
Tonight.
It would be something that's right.
1-0 Houston. First of 3 with the Astros in Houston. Foul out of play. The Astros have lost 7 of 10. High expectations to start the year. Texas and Houston considered the favorites. Remember, Texas won last year. Houston didn't clinch to the last day of the regular season. They got the wild card, beat the Yankees, then lost to the eventual world champion Royals in the ALDS. In 5, they had a 4-run lead in the 8th inning in the elimination game in 4. Incredibly, Kansas City for the second straight year rallied from 4 down in the 8th, facing elimination.
But that's what they do.
It's what they do.
What they do.
It's what they do. A.J. Hint said it was the most amazing thing he'd ever seen. It all came apart in the space of 7 pitches.
It's unreal.
He said, I could barely get a guy up. 7 pitches, 5 batters, single.
That's right. They do.
Sent his pitching coach out to the mound, bought a little time, but he said it was that quick, and he had to make a change. 7 pitches.
Kansas City.
Royals just swept the last 3 of a 4-game series. Houston won game 1 of that 4-game series. There's a strike on the outside corner to Rasmus.
Good call.
Starting to get a couple of calls. 2 lefties. Rasmus 2 for 2. Line drive single to left center brought in the only run. That was in the first. And then he smoked a line drive through the overshift. 3 infielders on the right side. Castellanos on the outfield grass his last time up. Check swing. Breaking ball away. Didn't go.
But I liked it. That was a good pitch. Very close, but it's in the mind of the hitter now. And he just can't settle on one pitch.
Almost got him to go. Very close. Pelfrey works extreme first base side of the rubber. Arms up over his head. Into his motion. 3-2. Low and inside.
Here we go again.
Another walk. 6th of the night for Mike Pelfrey. Pitch counts brought to you every game by Sunoco. Save 5 cents in every gallon instantly with your Sunoco Rewards credit card. Pitch counts at 94 right now for Mike Pelfrey.
You might start thinking about you guys in the bullpen. Be ready.
Today's game brought to you in part by U.S. Park, the official parking provider of the Detroit Tigers radio network. Man on, a man out. Tyler White at the plate. He's walked twice, both times on a 3-2 pitch that was in the dirt and not close. Iglesias and Kinsler, they've been very good in the middle of the infield, turning double plays. They're in double play depth. Toss over to first to drive Colby Rasmus back. Rasmus not really a base stealing threat, back easily. I'm guessing Mike Pelfrey has not walked 6 in a game very often, and sure enough, he's walked 6 in a game one other time in his career.
Why do you have to pick this night to do it again?
Man. Fastball. Inner half of the plate for a called strike. White was leaning back.
Yeah, I don't get that.
It looked like it was right over the middle of the plate.
A lot of the plate.
Well, Chris Sale had a heck of a start tonight.
I'll tell you, that's something. Down in Tampa, was it?
Yep. He had 3 starts last year, went 8 innings and gave up 1 or none runs and no decisions. 3 different times last year.
And no decisions.
It was 0-0 going to the ninth. It looked like again he might have an 8-inning start, 1 or no runs with a no decision.
And
Melky Cabrera came through with an RBI single in the top of the ninth, and Chicago wins it 1-0 in Tampa. Sale goes the distance.
Wow.
No walks, 9 strikeouts. Ground ball to third. Castellanos knee-high bounce down to Kinza, 1 relay to first. Beautifully turned in the ending double play.
That's what's going on here tonight, folks.
5-4-3, the third double play turned behind Pelfrey tonight.
Donation to Jack's Place for Autism, donated by Super Buick GMC. How about it?
They played 5 in Houston. 1-0 Astros on the Detroit Tigers Radio Network. Very interesting opener of this 3-game weekend series, Tigers and Houston Astros.
To say the least.
Astros, all kinds of traffic on the base paths, the first 3 innings especially. Base runners in each inning, good swings in each inning. Now Mike Pelfrey's settling down a little bit.
Yes, he has.
He's got 3 big double plays turned behind him. And we're 1-0 going to the top of the 6th inning. Ian Kinsler takes a curveball from Keuchel away. As we said, the Tigers didn't batter Cole around yesterday, but they got to Garrett Cole for 2 key runs in the 4th inning. And that forced Clint Hurdle's hand in the bottom of the 6th inning, trailing 2-0. He had to lift Cole for a pinch hitter. So that was impressive in itself. This Tigers' high-powered offense then went on to add 5 more runs.
I just thought beating him, and also Fernandez in Miami. That was big time.
There's a swing to line, foul into the seats. Wow, behind the Tigers dugout on the third base side. I don't know how a right-handed hitter hits it there.
Dan, I don't know how you do that.
A right-handed hitter over the third base dugout.
Wow.
Midway over that third base dugout.
My goodness.
1-2 on Kinsler. So if the Tigers can find a way, this is a very good pitcher on the mound. Scratch out a couple of runs. There's a pitch up in the strike zone. We have seen them do that. And who knows, on this strange night when Pelfrey's been on his heels the whole game.
Yes, he has.
They're only down a run.
He's kept him in the game.
Kinsler with a line single and a line out. 2 good swings tonight against Keuchel. Swinging a ground ball softly into the overshift. Correa grabs it off the dirt, fires over to first. Good strong arm for Carlos Correa. 1 up and 1 down here in the 6th inning. The Tigers' really good swings have been concentrated through the first 4 innings. 3 weak ground balls off their bats last inning. It's Keuchel's specialty, inducing weak contact, and he gets stronger as the game goes on. There's no discernible drop in his effectiveness each time through the order, and what stands out once he gets past 100 pitches, and he's not even going to get there tonight. His pitch count is so low, but when he does, he's even better after 100 pitches. This is a guy who gets better as the game goes on, and he's tough to hit early, middle, and late. There's a swing and a miss.
The deception with his arsenal is just magnificent. You know, you can win that batter's box and know you're not going to get a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, but the way he will set you up, it'll seem like a 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
6th inning today brought to you by the Jack Demmer Automotive Group. Go in and discover the Demmer difference. The strike 1. Cutter misses in, not by much. 1 ball, 1 strike on Justin Upton. Has taken a called third. Little soft single into right field. Tigers have 4 hits, 3 hard hit. 3 other balls hard hit for outs. The 1-1. Inside again with the fastball. 2-1 on Upton.
He can throw 1 pitch maybe 3 different ways. It'd be in the same plane, but each pitch will do something a little bit different.
Works quickly. The 2-1. Swinging a ground ball to third base. Valbuena step to his right, gloves it off the dirt. Easy toss across the diamond to Tyler White. And Keuchel's got the ground ball machine going now. 8 of the last 9 have grounded out.
They're called off-balance swings.
2 up, 2 down here in the 6th inning. Every Tigers double this season is a Wallside Windows double. You can enter to win a door wall from Wallside at cbsdetroit.com/Wallside. 1-0 Astros. We're in the top of the 6th inning. Can Miguel Cabrera get one in the air? Few can against Dallas Keuchel. He did give up 17 home runs last year.
So Miguel's due.
Most of those, though, as you might guess, were on the road. First pitch fastball outside. 1 for 2 for Miguel. Line drive single in the first with Kinsler on first base. Kinsler tried to go to third, but Gomez got to that ball quickly and threw out Kinsler. I said by 10 feet. It was more like 15 feet.
Yeah, that's right.
There's a pitch low and outside. When the ball got to Valbuena, Kinsler was at least 15 feet from third base.
It was a bad base running mistake.
He hasn't made many like that.
No, but in a game like this, the way it is, that was important.
Would have been first and third, 1 out for Martinez. Here's a 2-0 to Miguel. Took a little off.
Off that short breaking ball.
2-1 called strike. 84. Like you said, different looks. It may be 4 pitches or 5, but different looks on all of them makes it, 10, 15?
Well, maybe more than that. Yeah, maybe more than that, man.
Castro setting up inside. Swinging a miss on a breaking ball in the dirt this time. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
As great a hitter as he is, he swung at the motion. Man, I'll tell you.
This weekend series against the Astros brought to you in part by Wow Internet, phone, and cable. No overshifted infield defense on Miguel. Altuve back over to the right field side of second base, shaded up the middle. 2-2. High and tight.
Miguel, he's a ride, isn't he? I watch him turn around, look in the audience here.
Plays to the audience wherever he is.
Yes, he does.
Conversing with somebody at all times.
Yes.
Keuchel rolling along in the 6th inning. The 3-2. Swing and a foul straight back, and Miguel had an opportunity there. It looked like a breaking ball that hung over the plate.
And it was only at 84, but that's why he couldn't get it. If it was maybe 88 or 89, he probably would have hit it.
Expression on his face said, I just missed an opportunity.
But, change of speeds, different looks every pitch.
Outfield plays Miguel to go the opposite way. They're all shading toward the right, the 3-2. Swinging a ground ball chopped foul. Rasmus over toward the left center field gap, and Gomez toward right center. And that's where his single went in the first inning, and Gomez was right there to field it and fire. It's a very good outfield.
See, Dave Clark went to the long pants. We used to wear them up.
Yeah.
I said, Dave, you don't look as fast anymore.
Everybody looks faster with it.
That's right. That's why Miguel has them up there high.
Keuchel gets the sign. He's ready, but nope, his catcher's not.
Dude, Miguel's, he's great. He's there, said he is.
If it's the catcher, he'll point to the catcher. If it's him, he'll just tap his chest.
Or the umpire,
Now he digs back in, and we're ready. The 3-2. Swinging a ground ball foul again behind third base coach Dave Clark. This is easily the longest at-bat of the night. It'll be at least a 9-pitch trip to the plate for Miguel. You look at the at-bats the last 3 innings especially. A lot of at-bats are ending in 4 pitches or fewer, 3 pitches or fewer.
Well, love to see a hitter like this see a lot of pitches. It's one at bat.
The 3-2 again. Swing and a foul off the mask of the catcher Castro. Every strikeout by Tigers pitcher, $100 is deposited into the University of Toledo Strikeouts for Scholarships accounts, where motivated students can find opportunities to a greater degree. University of Toledo.
Well, one of these pitches you would think he'd get a hold of, wouldn't you?
We're breaking out your theory, Jim. This is pitch number 10.
I know it. Here
1-0 Astros in the 6th. Bases empty, 2 outs. Again, the 3-2. Swing and a miss. He got him on an off-speed pitch in the dirt.
Yep, it absolutely bounced up. Well, my theory didn't work. That's the only time it didn't work.
Only the third strikeout of the night, but it's a big one for Dallas Keuchel. The changeup gets Cabrera. We're going to the bottom of the sixth inning at Minute Maid Field. 1-0 Houston. Still, it's been this way since the first. This is the home of Detroit Tigers baseball. Evan Gaddis at the plate. Mike Pelfrey's first pitch is a fastball strike. Bottom of the sixth inning. 1-0 Houston. Bottom part of the order.
The bullpen has gone hot and heavy for the Tigers.
Pelfrey's about to hit 100 pitches. He just worked a quick fifth inning, faced the minimum three batters. Boy, there's off-speed pitch. Looked like it's changeup that swung back over the plate at 84.
He's
for
become
a
a different pitcher early in this game by using his secondary pitches along with his sinker. That's not that hard to do.
He's keeping some of these hitters off balance, Jim. The swings have gotten, well, not quite as strong the last two innings at least. Not as much hard contact.
He has fooled them.
Arms up over his head into his motion. The 0-2 check swing on the splitter, and he got him on strikes for the second time tonight.
Boy, oh boy. That is something.
Splitter's been a weapon for him. And again, as Jim said, as we came into the game, he throws it maybe 10% of the time. 1 out of every 10 pitches, maybe a little more, but he's thrown it a lot tonight.
He's thrown a little bit more, and also he's used his secondary pitches more to set up his fastball. Instead of throwing the fastball 90% of the time, then working occasional all-speed pitch.
Check some scores on the General RV scoreboard from the 1-800-CALL-SAM studios. Gomez takes a pitch low and outside. All eyes on Minnesota and Atlanta.
Oh, boy.
I was looking how many times, Jim, teams have started 0-9 in history going back to 1900. I'm throwing out the 1800s. We talked about Altoona and the Wolverines yesterday. Right. Let's throw out the 1800s. Swinging a soft ground ball to third, charging Castellanos on the grass, gloves it, throws, got the speedy runner by a step and a half at first.
Sold him off.
Before this year, there'd only been 12 teams that had ever started 0-9 in baseball history, going back to 1900.
2 teams.
12.
Oh, 12 teams.
Before this year's Atlanta, Minnesota teams, the Tigers had done it 3 times.
That's not good.
1920, and you and I were there in 2002 and 2003.
Yeah, well, that's right.
Minnesota, the franchise, going back to the Washington Senators days, has now done it twice, and Atlanta has now done it twice. And Minnesota's at home with a 2-1 lead.
They're leading?
In the bottom of the sixth inning.
So they scored 2 runs.
2 runs.
Wow.
They scored 14 in their first 9.
That's a team that we thought would hit.
There's a changeup for a strike.
I'm telling you, he's got these guys fooled.
And Atlanta has a 6-3 lead over Miami in the 9th inning.
How about that? This might be the night.
So the closer, who didn't even know he had the job, is being called upon to close that one out.
He didn't know that was his job?
Or Atlanta didn't know they had a closer, one of the two.
They call him 9th inning pitcher, no more closers.
1 ball, 1 strike on Valbuena. 1-0 here. There's a swing and a ground ball into the overshift. Ian Kinzel will cut it off before it gets to Castellanos. Field and flip. And Mike Pelfrey,
what a job.
Assuming that's the end of his night, did a heck of a job after one of the shakiest starts you will ever see, and gives up just 1 run through 6 innings of work.
It's all about using all of his pitches. That stood out.
We played 6 in Houston, 1-0 Astros on the Detroit Tigers radio network.
Hey, Club Keno players, doubler days are back, and so is professional double talker Dr.
Victor Martinez, first pitch from Dallas Keuchel, a little bit low and inside, ball 1.
I think Pelfrey's done. What a job.
That ball actually caught the inside corner, much to the chagrin of Victor. Strike 1 make it. Batting righty against the lefty. The pitch inside. Jim, his pitch count was very close to 50 in the second inning. It didn't look like there was a chance he'd go 6 tonight.
Talking about Pelfrey.
Talking about Pelfrey.
Yeah.
He
turned it around by using his secondary pitches, in my opinion. You don't have to be an expert to figure that out.
We talked about it right from the get-go.
Yeah.
The need for those secondary pitches.
And look how he just jammed a couple guys with the fastball because of using all of his pitches.
There's a swing and a foul out of play. 1-0 as we go to the top of the 7th inning.
Something.
In the first inning, it was a run in, bases loaded, 1 out. He got Gaddis and Gomez. Second inning, bases loaded, none out. Struck out Springer, got Correa on a hard ground ball.
Right.
Bounced into an inning double play. 2 on, none out in the third. Got a pop out and a double play ball. And another double play in the fifth. And then his first 1-2-3 inning of the night came in the sixth.
Yeah.
There's a pitch inside, 3-2.
What a job. The ball's not hit hard.
It was a tremendous adjustment. But Jim, the curveball and the splitter both were pluses tonight.
So this could be a new life on his arsenal, really, if he stays that way.
Because the splitter looked like a quality pitch.
Absolutely did. And it's like a changeup.
3 infielders on the left side for Victor. The outfield plays him to go the opposite way, batting righty against the lefty. 1-0 Houston in the seventh. The pitch, swinging a ground ball softly to third. Knee-high bounce for Valbuena. Step to his left. Easy toss to White. Chest-high throw. 1 up and 1 down. Keuchel is rolling. He's retired 11 in a row.
Zuber Buick GMC sponsors double plays for charity. Get the real deal at Zuber with a 2016 GMC Sierra for only $239 a month from Zuber Buick GMC. Go see those great folks. Get all the information you need. Have a cup of coffee and tell them Jim Price sent you. Nice area and really great folks.
$11 in a row retired by Keuchel. 9 of the 11 on easy, and I mean easy, ground balls.
It's what he's all about, isn't it?
There's a changeup that bounces up to home plate to J.D. Martinez. He's hit a fly ball to center, grounded out to third. Seventh inning, 1-0 Astros. The Tigers have not been held to fewer than 4 runs in any game this year. 1-0, swinging a ground ball, base hit where there was nobody on the right side with the overshifted infield defense. He hit it right where Altuve would normally be. It's a ground ball single. First base runner since a 2-out single from Upton in the third.
How about that? Off-balance swing after off-balance swing. Now we need one swing of the bat to get one out of here. How's that game plan?
Homer-friendly ballpark, and a guy at the plate right now who is on everything. Nick Castellanos has absolutely stung the ball the last 3 days.
Yeah, he looks great. Nice and relaxed, getting the barrel of the bat out in front.
8 at-bats, and he's hit the ball hard 6 of the 8 at-bats. And 5 of those have been hits. There's the pitch a little bit low. 5 different times he jumped on the first pitch and came up with a single, double, or a home run. Single and a line out today. Man on, a man out. We're in the 7th inning. Slide step, swing and a miss.
Whoa.
Taking a little off the fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Check some scores in the General RV scoreboard from the 1-800-CALL-SAM studios. Seattle over New York, 6-1 at Yankee Stadium in the ninth.
Big Apple, huh?
Top of the 9th inning. New York 4-4. Seattle 3-6. Good start for Rick Porcello. 2-hit Toronto through 6. 5-3 Boston in the 9th.
Getting it together.
Swing and a miss. Breaking ball in the dirt. We haven't seen many pitches or swings like that from Nick. He's been very disciplined in the strike zone the last couple of days.
Frustration. He's frustrated.
Encarnacion with 2 home runs, but again, 5-3 Boston in the top of the 9th. Both teams at the 500 mark going into play today. Bartolo Colon back in Cleveland, facing his former team, and he has shut down the Indians through 7, 6-2 Mets.
Can't make it up. Really can't.
Bartolo Colon is just going to keep pitching till, who knows, 50, 55?
Maybe.
There's a pitch in the dirt. It's going to be a 79-mile-an-hour fastball at 51.
What's some late movement?
He'll throw it up in the strike zone. I'm not sure there's anybody like him.
No. He's a phenomenon, really is.
Not in my lifetime.
And at one time, he was a flamethrower. Heyday, especially with Cleveland.
Absolute mid-90s flamethrower. 42 now, and he's just throwing all fastballs, and he's still a very effective pitcher. Swinging a soft little ground ball, and it's going to be fielded by White. He'll throw it down to second base. That ball almost, with Altuve shaded up the middle, almost got into right field. A severe jam job. Soft one hopper. White grabbed it through to second to get the lead man. 2 outs, a man on first for Saltalamacchia.
You talk about getting jammed, and you're right. If that ball gets by the first baseman, J.D. would be on third. Man, put that bat, never to use again, bat rack.
That leads it up to Jared Saltalamacchia. Man on 2 outs, 1-0. Astros in the lead.
Come on, Salty. He likes that nickname.
Because no one had ever
called him that. Just like me. The writers never said the price is right. I mean, I just heard that the other day, too.
You guys both said it to each other.
We did. Salty said, hey, the price is right. I said, hey, Salty.
2 things neither of you had heard before.
Never heard before. It's amazing.
Saltalamacchia takes a strike on the outside corner. Wow, that's a good call from the home plate umpire for Keuchel. The strike 1. Swinging a shot into the overshift. The overshift has worked several times tonight. Altuve fields and fires from the left field side of second base. Saltalamacchia hit it hard. It's out number 3.
My goodness.
We're at the 7th inning stretch in Houston. 1-0. Astros still lead it. This is the home of Detroit Tigers baseball. Seventh inning today brought to you by Wallside Windows, Michigan's leader in replacement windows for 72 years. Pitch speech today brought to you by X1 from Xfinity. It's going to change the way you experience sports. 1-0. It's been this way since the first. The Astros take the lead to the bottom of the 7th inning. Mike Pelfrey. It's not the prettiest final line you've seen, but the pretty part of his line tonight is the number 1. Somehow Mike Pelfrey allowed just 1 run tonight on a night when he walked a career-high 6 batters. I was 1 run on 5 hits, 6 walks, 3 strikeouts.
I was impressed that he used the secondary pitches. This could be new life, really, for Pelfrey, because I don't remember.
Really could, Jim.
I mean, you look at the stats on his percentage of pitches, and believe me, the secondary pitches were way down as far as numbers.
He had 3 or 4 different secondary pitches, or 3 at least, but he only threw them about a quarter of the time.
They were like, show me once in a while, that's all.
And tonight I would say it was close to half.
It was brilliant.
Or more.
It was terrific.
Buck Farmer on the mound, Castro at the plate, and the first pitch is a strike on the outside part of the outside corner.
Pitching change brought to you Southeast Michigan Ford. Visit Georgeson Ford in Detroit. Think Ford first. Well, the Buckaroo, Georgia Tech, 3 1/3 so far, 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 home run.
Stuff still looks good, and there's a fastball low.
5 strikeouts and 2 walks. I like his arsenal. 1 inning in the Pittsburgh series the other day. But a lot to like about him with a starter's arsenal.
That was one of his better innings the other day, Jim. There's a swing and a foul back to the screen. Remember, he walked Joyce on 4 pitches at Comerica Park. Went to 2-0 on McCutchen, the next batter.
Yeah.
Bounced back to strike out McCutchen swinging, and then got a double play ball. So it was a nice recovery after a shaky beginning to that inning.
He's got a good arsenal. And the more he gets the opportunity to pitch, and he has success, there'll be a confidence, and he'll just, in my opinion, get better and better.
There's a fastball up in the strike zone. You would think, we don't know, but you would think that Ryan and Verhagen get a chance to stay. I don't know if that's, it just seems that way, but who knows? If Buck Farmer has a few more good innings.
Sure.
There's a strike on the inside corner. Now, Jimmy, that was 89 on the inside corner. A little off the fastball, a little cutter.
Looked like a cutter to me.
Pitch he's been working on.
Yeah, that's a heck of a pitch.
But if Hardy and Wilson come back, you would think the likely candidates to go down will be Kensing and Farmer, and yet,
well, you don't know.
They really do like his arm.
Kensing, I would think for sure. But
and then it's either, you would say, Ryan Verhagen or Buck Farmer. I know they like Ryan's movement. He's a lefty.
And they like Verhagen.
So that's why I think
it could be a numbers
game. It would be Buck Farmer.
But
he is an arm to keep an eye on. If he goes down to Toledo, it's an arm to keep an eye on. Because he had converted full-time out of relief. He was a starter/reliever last year. And he might be very effective as a full-time reliever. There's a strike on the outside corner. That's pinpoint with a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Altuve showed bunt, pulled the bat back.
In relief, he's got back some of the power in his arsenal, which is good. 93, 94 with some action.
In at the corners, middle of the infield back, working third base side of the rubber. Farmer delivers off-speed breaking ball in the dirt, bounced. 1 ball and 1 strike in the first inning. Single by Springer, walk to Correa, 1 of 6 issued by Pelfrey tonight.
It was something, I'm telling you.
Rasmus singled in a run. White walked. But then Pelfrey showed what he was going to do the rest of the night. Worked out of that jam, worked out of a jam in the second, a jam in the third, and then finished strong. Swing and a miss.
Wow.
Pitch in the dirt again. 1-2 on Jose Altuve.
That's when you're not seeing the ball real well and you're cheating a little bit, starting your swing. Yep, breaking ball. Good pickup by the catcher.
Hard slider in the dirt. Final line for Pelfrey, brought to you by Auto Value Parts Stores, where service is the difference. Again, 6 innings, 1 run on 5 hits, 6 walks, 3 strikeouts. The 1-2.
Oops.
In the dirt again. He's bounced 2 sliders. He got a swing on 1.
Yeah, but
now it's
a good
2-2.
hitter. You can't go back to the well like that in the dirt.
Angels have scored 3 in Minnesota in the 7th.
You're kidding.
They got a 4-2 lead.
Oh, my.
So 0-9 certainly is a bad sign. Is it fatal? There's a swing and a ground ball. Glove by Farmer is heading up the middle. He runs toward first, a little underhand to Cabrera. 2 outs. Jim, I totaled up those teams that had played. In the early days, I didn't always pay attention to the 154-game schedule. So I threw out those teams. One team played 130.
Oh,
one
yeah,
played.
no. Good. That's good.
So the teams that played either a full 162 or a full 154, and there were 10 of them. Those teams averaged 106 losses. The ones that started 0-9, they averaged 106 losses. So an 0-9 starts a bad sign.
No question about it. You can't recover.
The one winning team was the Houston Astros. They bounced back to have a winning record. There's a fly ball to left. Can of corn for Upton. Moving toward left center. Makes the catch. Springer flies out. And a good inning again for Buck Farmer.
Well, the bullpen's been doing the job.
We played 7 in Houston. It's 1-0 Astros on the Detroit Tigers Radio Network. Your SBS Vision Player of the Game now to 97136 by texting the letters SBS and the complete player's name. 8th inning, 1-0 Astros. Dallas Keuchel cruising along.
Yes, he is. Time to get to him.
First 10 batters, there were 5 good swings. I mean, line drives, 3 hits, 2 outs, but 5 really good swings.
Yeah, that's right.
And maybe 2 since. A lot of soft contact. It's what he does. Curveball to Ghost. This is an extremely tough matchup for a lefty. Lefties hit 170 against Keuchel last year with no power. There's a curveball that bounces. Anthony Ghost believes in his hitting abilities. He's shown some better at-bats against lefties.
He's hanging in there. I talked to him about he's not pulling off the ball. I said, you're going to get jammed sometimes. That's okay, but just do what you're doing and don't open up those hips.
Astros pinching in tight, looking bunt. There's a strike, and that wouldn't be a bad idea. He hasn't shown bunt here. Although I'm not sure this would be an easy guy to bunt, Jim. He's not a hard thrower, but no, and everything moves.
Yeah, and he's the best fielding pitcher around, too.
Now the 1-2. Curveball in the dirt.
See, that was a little flatter breaking ball. I would say if you would add up all his different speeds and his numbers, he has 4 basic pitches. He might throw each pitch 4 or 5 different speeds.
Really something.
It is.
It's surprising he's not better on the road, Jim.
That doesn't make any sense.
Because he's not really pitching to the ballpark. It's all ground balls.
Yeah.
The 2-2, high and away. But again, the ERA at home basically 150. On the road, 370.
It's not all bad either.
Not all bad either, but I would think if he's that good at home, he'll be better on the road this year.
He should be, yeah, absolutely.
He wasn't in his first 2 starts. Here's the 3-2. Swinging at line foul. I mean, I've heard of being more comfortable in your home ballpark, but this is ridiculous.
Yeah, there was another pitcher that was...
Well, it was Irvin Santana in his early days with the Angels. I always remember it because that was like a run difference of like 5 or 6 runs.
Yeah, that's right.
ERA difference for him home and away. 3-2 pitch, swinging a ground ball. Altuve to his left, has the big bounce, throws on the run to White at first. Ghost battled, but a 7-pitch battle won by Keuchel. Ground out. What else? To start the 8th inning. All of the outs since Cabrera bounced out to end the 3rd have been ground balls, except for a Castellanos lineout in the 4th and a strikeout for Cabrera in the 6th. Everything else since the end of the 3rd
and not hit
has
hard.
been a ground ball.
just a routine ground balls.
Routine. Jose Iglesias at the plate. Curveball bounces. Astros pinching in tight.
I remember talking about Santana. Didn't I say, well, they should put on his
what I always remember.
Home uniform on the road and then put the other one over top of it, if it's a mental thing.
Made a lot of sense.
They didn't take my advice, so I
can't
believe it.
Iglesias swings and fouls it over the screen. 1 ball, 1 strike. Iglesias has hit one of those line drive outs tonight, lined out in the 3rd inning. Grounded out in the 5th inning, 1-0 Houston. We're in the 8th inning. We're seeing the brilliance of last year's Cy Young Award winner, who's labored through his first 2 starts this year. Didn't give up a lot of runs, but walked 10.
Yeah, that was crazy.
In 12 innings. The 1-1. Pitch outside, 2-1. He has not walked a batter tonight. He has gone to a 3-ball count. Well, on the last batter, Anthony Gose. And unofficially on my scorecard, on only 2 other
Magnificent.
batters. 2-1. High and away.
Uh-oh.
So, again, a 3-ball count. Back-to-back batters.
Yeah, he finds a way in counts like this to like a short breaking ball or something he knows he can get over.
Kinsler waiting on deck. Tigers trying to put some pressure on Keuchel. The 3-1. High and away.
My goodness.
He walked him. He thought he made a good pitch, but Jim, I thought that was high and away. I didn't think that was close.
I didn't think it was even close.
He really visibly reacted to that.
Well, you know what? He got spoiled. The umpire gave him some pitches tonight, and which he earned, but he didn't get that pitch, and that was definitely high and outside.
Iglesias draws a 1-out walk. First walk of every game, brought to you by Plant Moran. Client services that are unparalleled. Get on base at plantmoran.com. 8th inning. 1-0 Astros. Man on and man out. The lineup turns over now for Ian Kinsler. 2 good swings tonight. A line single, a line out, and a bounce out.
Feel good with Ian up there, don't you?
Sure do. Over shifted infield defense. 3 infielders on the left side. Swinging a foul off of Castro, the catcher. So this becomes a little tricky for Altuve. With all the ground balls that Keuchel gets, if there's a ground ball to third or to short, Altuve's on the left field side of second. He's got to race over, catch that ball at what will be a little funny angle for him.
He can do it, though. He's a gymnast.
They're used to it. They've been doing this a long time, this overshifting. Strike 1 on Kinsler. This will be the 100th pitch of the night for Dallas Keuchel. Iglesias leaning. Keuchel suspicious. Flips over to first.
Nobody loosening up in their pen. In fact, I think nobody's out there. That's a lot of confidence in your pitcher, isn't it?
It's like the king in his court.
Exactly.
Don't even send anybody to the
That's right. You
the
guys
bullpen.
just stay in the dugout.
The strike 1. Swing and a miss.
Whoa.
Breaking ball up in the strike zone. Ian jumped out of his shoes to try to drive it somewhere, and he missed.
He's kind of bewildered that he missed that.
Yep, he's frustrated. Justin Upton is waiting on deck. Tigers have not had 2 base runners on at any time tonight. Almost did in the first, but Kinsler was thrown out on a Cabrera single trying to go first to third. The 0-2. Swing and a pop-up foul and out of play. Just over the Astros dugout. Another high pitch that
got in his kitchen.
Kinsler chased. He's been hitting the ball consistently hard through his 39 at-bats now.
He really has. I mean, he's shown good power, good quickness, bat speed, reading the pitches.
13 for 39. Can figure that one out. 333 batting average with 3 home runs. That's what really stands out. He had 2 home runs through 83 games last year. He's got 3 already through 8.
That's beautiful.
Iglesias edges off the pitch.
Ooh.
Up and in.
He has spoiled the fans. You know, anything that's even around the plate, they think it should be called a strike.
Within 6 inches of any part of home plate or the strike zone.
They think he's getting the
that's high and tight.
Yeah.
Not even close to being a strike.
He spoiled the fans. He's so good.
Castro setting up inside the 1-2. Cutter off the plate inside. Crowd getting on the home plate umpire. These pitches are well off the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 run, 5 hits for the Astros. No runs, 5 hits for the Tigers. They made the only error of the night. The 2-2, swing and a miss on a breaking ball that bounced. We have not seen Ian swing at a pitch like that in a long time.
It's the art of pitching, the art of deception. I mean, I'm with you.
But you're right, Jim. I mean, we haven't seen him swing like that in a pitch in a long time. Well, credit to the pitcher for getting him to swing at a pitch like that.
He saw all kind of pitches, all different areas, all different speeds.
This is one confident pitcher on the mound, isn't it?
Well, it sure is. But, one swing of the bat, this thing could change.
Justin Upton has certainly got the ability to do that with Cabrera on deck. 2 outs and a man on. Castro setting up inside. The first pitch to Upton. Swing and a foul softly over the screen to our right.
And you're right. Softly. How many things have you said that tonight? It is actually something.
Hard contact early. Not so much since Kinsler lined out in the third. Maybe 2 hard hit balls since.
Yeah, they're getting their closer up. Or their 9th inning guy.
Gregerson has held on to the closer's role even with the trade of Giles.
Right.
There's a pitch off the plate inside.
Giles has given up some home runs.
3 home runs.
Yeah.
For the guy who, they gave up 5 players for, including a guy yesterday who threw a complete game.
For the Phillies.
5-hitter, I believe it was.
Yeah.
16 strikeouts. Might have been a 3-hitter. Vasquez.
You asked me, did we see him in the spring? I don't remember.
I don't think so. No. There's a pitch up and in, and now Keuchel not quite as sharp as he's been the entire game. Went to a 3-ball count on goals. Walked Iglesias on a 3-1. Didn't throw many strikes to Kinsler, but did strike him out.
Well, the art of deception was strong.
Now 2-1 on Upton. The pitch. Swinging a high fly ball, left field, not deep. Rasmus toward left center, makes the catch.
Wow.
Upton is out, and so are the Tigers. If that's the end of the night for Keuchel, that's a brilliant start.
It sure was, no question.
We go to the bottom of the 8th inning, 1-0 Astros in Houston. This is the home of Detroit Tigers baseball. 1-0 Astros. They bat in the bottom of the 8th inning. 8th inning brought to you by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Put it in D. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. We assume Dallas Keuchel's night is done.
It is.
Brilliant.
Thank goodness it's over.
8 innings, no runs and 5 hits, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts.
Boy, the art of pitching, huh?
Against an offense that's been averaging 6 runs a game and has not been held below 4 runs in any game this year. A little bit of a shaky start in that there were good swings early.
That's true.
But, man, did he finish strong.
Boy.
Buck Farmer in his 2nd inning of work. Fastball low and outside. This is the heart of the order. Correa, Rasmus, and White against Buck Farmer. He had a 1-2-3 7th inning. Pelfrey finished with a 1-2-3 6th inning. His first 1-2-3 inning of the night. Fastball strike. Now, that pitch was not a strike for Pelfrey.
I thought it was his strike zone for him was tight. Yeah. I really did.
It might have gotten him off his game just a little bit early. You felt that way?
I did, yes.
Here's the 1-1. Swinging a fly ball, right field, not deep. J.D. cruising in toward the line, puts that in his back pocket. For out number 1, Comerica customers can enjoy a VIP experience at Tigers home games throughout the year. For more information, visit Comerica.com/yourpark to find out about the perks you can get at Comerica Park. 1 out, bottom of the 8th inning. An RBI single by this guy at the plate. Colby Rasmus is the difference in the game.
And that was first inning.
First inning, line drive single, scored Springer. Plenty of other scoring opportunities. It's only 7 left on base for the Astros and 5 for the Tigers. It doesn't really tell the story in this game.
No, it doesn't.
At all.
No, the Astros have about 22 left on base.
They left the bases loaded in the first, had the bases loaded, none out in the second, and did not score. Ooh, good breaking ball. That's a bigger, slower breaking ball from Buck Farmer. That's a good pitch.
I'm going to give Buck something he's never had before, a yellow hammer.
You're breaking out the yellow hammer
for
Buck.
Buckaroo. Got to let him know. That was a.
You have not said that before.
I have not. That was a good one.
Then fastball, slider, cutter.
Sure.
And that was a good curveball. There's a fastball strike. This is good stuff from Buck Farmer here tonight.
He wants to stay. I'm not going down with his short buildings.
He knows a decision has to be made.
He knows it, but he's not going.
The one advantage in his favor, he does get more swings and misses.
He does.
It's not more of a power arm than Verhagen. There's a ground ball foul. I wouldn't say that because they're both power arms, but Buck Farmer gets more strikeouts, more swings and misses than Drew Verhagen.
Different fastball.
Yeah.
I think that's the key. But a lot to like about both of them.
Absolutely.
Buck was force-fed, brought up for those starts. I mean, man.
Basically from low A ball to the major leagues.
Yeah, and out of Georgia Tech. Heck of an engineer, baby.
Overshifted infield defense. Castellanos on the outfield grass, the 1-2. Curveball again, low and inside.
Well, that's a hard breaking ball.
We haven't seen him throw that pitch a whole lot, have
Not
we?
a whole lot.
I mean,
no.
that's a good pitch.
He's got the starter's arsenal.
Or if you just see that confidence grow with scoreless outings, that's what Buck Farmer needs right now. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Running fastball away from Colby Rasmus. That's a good pitch. His second strikeout of the night.
That's a two-seamer. At 93, that's strong. That's late action, off the plate away. That's late movement.
Angels still lead the Twins, the 0-9 Twins, 4-2 in the bottom of the seventh.
Wow.
They broke out the bubbly for Atlanta in Miami. The Atlanta Braves got their first win, 6-3.
Well, we knew going into the season.
That was not a good-looking team.
No.
There's a pitch up and in to Tyler White, who's walked twice and bounced into a double play. 9-run inning for Baltimore in Texas.
Wow.
Mark Trumbo has been a big addition. Boy, that team might hit 300 home runs this year.
In that ballpark? Oh, boy.
Trumbo hit 2 tonight. And Baltimore now with an 11-5 lead in Texas.
How about that? He went through some tough times where he was lost hitting.
Which was amazing because he was such a force at the plate.
Then all of a sudden it was
started to get it back last year, but he wasn't still that force
Wasn't
again.
the power, that's right.
And now Baltimore's got him, and he's like, well, everybody hits home runs here. I might as well just start cranking home runs again.
Get your stuff back, get your act back together.
He's got 5. 1-1. Change up down in the strike zone at 88.
A little too quick. Maybe a little mile or two less than that to be effective.
Mets are leading Cleveland 6-4 now in the bottom of the 9th inning in Cleveland. The 2-1. Swing and a miss. Again, off speed in the dirt. 2-2.
The Buck ain't going to leave easy.
You like that?
He's going to keep his uni on. He's going to go back to the hotel tonight with his uni on.
Bumgarner against Kershaw tonight.
How about that?
Again, 1-0 LA.
LA?
In Dodger Stadium.
Oh, boy.
9th career matchup. Fastball, strike 3 call. Wow, he froze him with the fastball. That may be the 2 best innings back-to-back we've seen from Buck Farmer.
No doubt about it. That was big league stuff.
6 up, 6 down, 3 strikeouts. Last shot for the Tigers after 8 in Houston. 1-0 Astros. Heart of the order coming up for the Tigers on the Detroit Tigers Radio Network. This copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of the Detroit Tigers, may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Detroit Tigers. 9th inning, 1-0 Houston. 9th inning brought to you by Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations what a bank can be when it's time. Go to Comerica. Luke Gregerson on the mound now for the Astros.
Pitcher change brought to you in Michigan. 4 dealers so far this year. He does have a couple saves. 3 innings. 1 hit, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Now you talk about deception. This is a right-handed
Dallas Keuchel.
Yeah. But then he can get that fastball up also. But a lot of deception with his arsenal.
A lot of ground balls. Not a hard thrower. First pitch, sinker for a strike.
Everything he throws obviously has some sort of movement. But he can give you that easy 0 for 3 in a hurry.
Average fastball 89 last year, so everybody assumed.
Yes.
As Cabrera checks his swing on a slider in the dirt, did he go? Wow, he did not, Jimmy. He got a break.
Yes, he did, and they need a break.
That's a respect call because
that's exactly what that was.
Too far. Everybody thought Giles would be the closer. They sent 5 players to Philadelphia to get Ken Giles. And Giles did not take the closer's job away because Gregerson did a very good job last year. The 1-1. He's swinging the ground ball up the middle, hit hard, but Altuve to his right, gloves it, turns, throws, and gets Cabrera easily at first. 1 up, 1 down here in the 9th inning.
Well, he's going to be a lot like Keuchel. When he's right, off-balance swing.
And it's mostly just fastball slider. The Tigers have seen him for 6 2/3 innings in his career. Last couple of years, 1 run. And they just haven't, like you said, it's like Keuchel. A lot of softly hit balls against Gregerson. His slider can be a wipeout pitch.
And, you've got Miguel, Martinez, and Martinez. It doesn't get any better than that if you want to.
The heart of the order.
Runs.
DT Energy wants to thank fans for their continued support this season. Thanks for listening to the Tigers Radio Network and for your support of Michigan-based companies such as DTE Energy. 1-0 Astros in the 9th. First pitch, fly ball, center field, not hit hard. Gomez to his left, 2 steps, makes the catch. 2 up and 2 down in the 9th.
That acted like a knuckleball.
It did, and at the last moment, Gomez had to reach down to his right to grab it. 4 pitches. 2 outs in the 9th. The ex-Astro, J.D. Martinez, strides to the plate.
And believe me when I say that he would give a lot to hit one out of here.
If you're thinking one swing of the bat, and why wouldn't you be with J.D. at the plate? 5 home runs allowed by Gregerson in a closer's role last year. That's all. First pitch to J.D. swinging a high fly ball center field. This will end it. Gomez going back, still going, tracking it. He'll make the catch onto the warning track in the deepest part of right center. And the Astros take game 1 here in Houston. Our final score on a night when pitching dominated, especially the brilliance of Dallas Keuchel.
Oh, it sure was.
The Houston Astros beat the Tigers 1-0. Crowd of more than 30,000 filing out of Minute Maid Field. They just seen their Astros beat the Tigers in the first of 3 here in Houston, 1-0. 30,092 officially at the ball game tonight. Attendance brought to you every game by Fraser Forklifts, your home for commercial and industrial equipment. Pitching dominated. Pelfrey struggled but finished strong. 2 very different performances tonight, but in the end, very effective start for Pelfrey. But Keuchel was brilliant, as he always seems to be here at home, and he really was the story here tonight. 1-0 Astros win it. Jim and I are about to talk about it after these words on the Detroit Tigers Radio Network. 1-0 Astros win it. Stat of the game brought to you by Dunham Sports. Big names, lower prices, delivering value since 1937. Jim, I'll pick the numbers 5, 2, and 0 in this game tonight.
Okay.
To the first 10 batters, the Tigers had 5 really good swings. Line drive outs, line drive singles. Didn't have anything to show for it. Over the last 19 batters, unofficially, but really, 2 good swings. The last 19 batters.
I think you're being generous.
And 0 was the number of runs that Keuchel gave up. That really was the brilliance of Dallas Keuchel tonight. Whatever was going on early, the Tigers' good swings, he made an adjustment. He got sharp. A lot of easy ground balls. Hardly a hard hit ball over his last 5 innings.
The way he can change speeds and not change his mechanics or release point is brilliant. And like I said, when you think about it, fastball, curve, slider, change, cutter, he might throw 20 different pitches in those number of pitches, the way he can change speeds. He'll throw a breaking ball on a certain plane, then he'll throw another breaking ball that has a little more down to it, then he'll have another one that goes a little bit more down to it. So you see it on that plane, you think you got it eyeballed, and it disappears.
I don't know if this will be a turning point for Mike Pelfrey, but it will be interesting to see what Mike Pelfrey does from here on out. We've talked about it. At age 32, here's a guy who throws 3/4 of his pitches are fastballs.
Right.
Tonight, clearly, he threw maybe half or more of his pitches, his secondary pitches that we talked about early on as being important for him to get more swings and misses and less hard contact. And he made an adjustment right away. The splitter at times was very good tonight. The curveball was very good tonight.
Right.
Jim, it seems like this could be a real plus for him if he applies it and starts going forward.
Well, if he doesn't, I'd be surprised because, Rich Doobie, the pitching coach, they're watching the same thing we are, Brad Osmuth. I'm sure they're going to talk to him and say, look, you used all your pitches. You were good tonight.
The final line is not going to impress anybody because it's 6 walks, 3 strikeouts. But what we saw in those last 3 innings, last 4 innings, really was different.
But he was lucky, though, early on because they hit rockets and hit into double plays. But the way he used all of his pitches, he's never done that before. I think this is a lesson for him. If he wants to be an asset for this team, you would think he would keep that up.
Tigers lose 1-0. First 1-0 win for the Astros in 4 years, and Dallas Keuchel refuses to lose. Here at home, he took that one early run and ran with it. It was pretty impressive.
It was very impressive. And, you're talking about a Tiger team. They had a lot of guys, one swing of the bat that could change the game.
Never really got to him. Never had two men on base at the same time. Tigers folded 6-3 with the loss. The Astros 4-7 with the win. Stay with us. More postgame after this on the Detroit Tigers Radio Network.